Chapter 49-59. Situtianai had emphasized that there were experts from the 8 Extreme Palace stationed in the Western Paradise to intimidate Lin Feng. However, Lin Feng had never been afraid of threats. Lin Feng did not take Situtianai's threat to heart. So what if you're from the 8 Extreme Palace? Do you believe that I'll destroy the 8 Extreme Palace sooner or later? Lin Feng replied with a sneer. You! Situtianai's expression sank. Lin Feng walked towards Situtianai and said, One has to pay the price for one's wrongdoings. That's the logic. Don't you understand that? You said that you have some powerful hidden techniques. I'd like to see what they are. As soon as Situtianai finished speaking, Lin Feng executed an extremely powerful divine ability. Behind Lin Feng, a mysterious and ancient world appeared. In that mysterious and ancient world, the sound of monks chanting could be heard. Countless monks were reciting Buddhist scriptures. These monks were surrounded by an endless amount of Buddhist light. The Buddhist light was dazzling and sacred. The Buddhist light illuminated the world. It dispelled the evil in the world. Suddenly, the densely packed monks fused together and transformed into a huge ancient Buddha. It was a Buddha, as if it was the Lord of all Buddhas. Lin Feng sent a palm strike towards Situtianai. The Buddha's actions were exactly the same as Lin Feng's. At this moment, Lin Feng seemed to have fused with the Buddha. His strength had fused with the Buddha. Lin Feng even felt as if he had transformed into an ancient Buddha. His every move contained the supreme profoundness of Buddhism. This was Lin Feng's supreme Buddhist divine ability, all true Buddhas. This was a divine ability passed down by Buddhas. An existence of the Buddha level was roughly equivalent to an ancient saint king, or a devil lord. The techniques passed down by existences of this level were naturally unimaginable. They were powerful to the point that others couldn't help but be shocked. Now, this technique was being used, and it indeed erupted with a terrifying power that left others in awe. After sensing the terrifying power of Lin Feng's attack, Situtianai's expression changed drastically. Ancestors' protection! Situtianai shouted coldly. He summoned a protective seal and placed it in front of him. Bang! Lin Feng's terrifying palm strike struck the ancestors' protection. The ancestors' protection actually blocked Lin Feng's attack. Situtianai's methods were truly powerful. However, his expression did not change. He's protection. Bang! 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 After 3 consecutive violent collisions, the ancestors' protection summoned by Situtianai was destroyed by Lin Feng. At this moment, Situtianai's attack was completed. He sneered and said, Kid, I'll let you have a taste of my power! Ancestors' fury! Situtianai roared. Then, he summoned another ancestor's seal. This time, the ancestor's seal was even more impressive. This ancestor's seal was called the Fury Seal. After the ancestor's fury, Situtianai would be strengthened by it. After being strengthened by the Fury Seal, Situtianai's combat strength would increase tremendously. Under normal circumstances, after being strengthened by the ancestor's Fury Seal, one's combat strength would increase by about 2 times. However, at most, it could increase one's combat strength by about 4 times. Currently, Situtianai's combat strength had not increased by 4 times. However, it had increased by about 3 times. This was Situtianai's trump card. Situtianai was known as a genius second only to young noble Mingyu in the 8th-level palace. Naturally, his methods were extremely terrifying. When Situtianai used the ancestor's Fury Seal to increase his combat strength by 3 times, Lin Feng could not help but raise his eyebrows slightly. Lu Xiaoqing, who was standing behind Lin Feng, was extremely worried. The combat strength that Situtianai had displayed was too terrifying. Although this method of increasing one's combat strength by several times usually could not be maintained for too long, however, during that time, Situtianai's battle strength had increased. He had enough time to fight against Lin Feng. Now that Situtianai was so powerful, Lu Xiaoqing's heart was tied to Lin Feng. Naturally, she was extremely worried about Lin Feng's safety. Kid, let's see how you're going to fight me. Situtianai was extremely arrogant. After being strengthened by 3 times his combat strength, he became extremely confident. It was no wonder that Situtianai was so confident. The current him was indeed ridiculously powerful. Situtianai did not think that Lin Feng was still a match for him now that his combat strength had increased by 3 times. In his opinion, the current Lin Feng was no longer a threat. He could toy with Lin Feng any way he wanted to Lin Feng. It was a piece of cake. Emperor's scripture, human sovereign appear! Suddenly, Lin Feng let out a long roar. He used the Emperor's scripture, a supreme technique that was imparted to Lin Feng by Yaoji, the daughter of the human clan's ancestor, Shinnong. It was a supreme inheritance created by Shinnong. Once the Emperor's scripture was used, it could summon saint sovereigns to fight against the enemy. Lin Feng summoned the human sovereigns. 9 human sovereigns appeared behind Lin Feng. I am the human sovereign. Who dares to disobey me? Lin Feng stepped forward. He was determined to become the human clan's 10th human sovereign in the post-apocalyptic era. This was the main reason why Lin Feng had summoned the 9 human sovereigns. Human sovereign, enlighten the people! At that moment, the 9 human sovereigns spoke in unison. Enlightening the people was what the 9 human sovereigns had done their entire lives. The human clan was a nation of etiquette. They respected the elderly and cherished the young. They were benevolent to the father, and filial to the son. There were also the 3 obediences and 4 virtues. All sorts of etiquette and morals were passed down by the human sovereign. The power of the 9 human sovereigns merged with Lin Feng. Lin Feng sent a palm strike towards Situtianai. Bang! Following a violent collision, Lin Feng and Situtianai collided. Situtianai was sent flying like a kite with a broken string. With a plop, Situtianai fell to the ground. No, that's impossible! Situtianai's eyes were bloodshot. He had used all his strength, and even increased his strength by 3 times, but he had still been defeated by Lin Feng. He couldn't accept that. He was a proud and arrogant person, he couldn't accept defeat. Besides, he had been defeated so miserably. Situtianai's heart was pounding. You're pitifully weak. Killing you will only dirty my hands. Get out and kneel on the ground. Lin Feng waved his sleeve. Powerful magic power surged out and wrapped around Situtianai. Situtianai was sent flying outside. Lin Feng's magic power turned into sealing runes and sealed Situtianai. Chapter 4960. Oh my God, isn't that Situtianai? Why is he kneeling on the ground? There were many people on the riverside. Some were here to enjoy the boat with their friends, while others were here to enjoy themselves. Everyone knew a big shot like Situtianai, so when they saw him kneeling on the ground, many people exclaimed. Many cultivators suddenly exclaimed. The news spread from 1 to 10, and from 10 to 100. After many cultivators heard the news, they all rushed over to watch the show. When the cultivators who ran out earlier saw Situtianai kneeling on the ground with bloodshot eyes, they couldn't help but feel fear. That guy was too cruel. Nothing good would come out of angering that guy. It's really Situtianai. Why is he kneeling here? I heard that Situtianai is an expert who can fight against a true immortal, but he's kneeling here. Who has the ability to make him kneel here? Just now, I saw Situtianai leading a group of people onto that boat. That boat seems to be Lu Xiaoqing's private rendezvous with a mysterious young master. Everyone should have heard about what happened between Situtianai and Lu Xiaoqing back then. Situtianai was naturally jealous of that mysterious young master. He probably boarded that boat to cause trouble for that young master. Not long after, a group of people ran out as if they were fleeing. Situtianai was thrown out and then sealed. Now, he's even kneeling on the ground to repent. I wonder who that young master is to be so powerful. I also saw Lu Xiaoqing and a mysterious young master board the cruise ship. In fact, although Lu Xiaoqing's reputation isn't good, those who know the truth know that Lu Xiaoqing is a woman who loves herself very much. This is her first time dating someone outside. I think that mysterious young master must have successfully taken Lu Xiaoqing down. Everyone can imagine that mysterious young master and Lu Shaoqing were being intimate when Situ Tianai interrupted them. Situ Tianai is a narrow-minded person. Back then, when he failed to pursue Lu Shaoqing, he ordered people to spread rumors that Lu Shaoqing didn't know how to restrain herself and that she was a fickle woman. Now that he saw Lu Shaoqing being intimate with someone else, how could he tolerate it? Therefore, the two sides must have fought. Situ Tianai is so powerful, so logically speaking, Situ Tianai should have won. Who knew that the young master was even stronger? Instead, it was Situ Tianai who suffered a great loss. None of you know who that young master is, right? I know who that young master is. I've seen him before. Who is that young master? It's the young master who killed the 4 evil monks. What? It was actually him. Didn't they say that this young master and Shui Yuexin of the 100 Days Pavilion were together? Why are you with Lu Shaoqing now? The goddess in our eyes may be unreachable, but in that young master's eyes, she may be nothing. So I don't think it's a big deal to get Shui Yuexin first, and then get Lu Shaoqing. Don't talk about it anymore. Please don't talk about it anymore. My heart feels terrible. The 2 peerless fairies of our little western paradise have fallen into the hands of the enemy just like that. Those who hear it will feel sad, and those who hear it will shed tears. Many cultivators were discussing the matter. Many of them were pointing at Situ Tianai, wanting to see him make a fool of himself. It was no wonder that people would laugh at him. Situ Tianai was not a good person. Moreover, he had massacred the timeless survivors, so many people had a bad opinion of him. After all, ordinary cultivators did not have any grudges with the timeless survivors. Instead, they sympathized with them. Ah! Let me go! Let me go! Gee! You little bastard! How dare you humiliate me like this? I won't rest until you're dead. Situ Tianai kept struggling and roaring. His eyes had turned blood red. Right now, he only wanted to kill Lin Feng. Only then would he be able to vent the hatred in his heart. But if Situ Tianyi wanted to kill Lin Feng, he could only dream about it. Seeing so many people staring at him like he was a monkey and pointing at him, Situ Tianai heard all sorts of mocking and gloating voices. Situ Tianai had never been humiliated like this before. Therefore, he was so angry that he spat out a mouthful of blood. His face also became as pale as paper. What was even more frightening was that he was bleeding from all 7 orifices. After seeing this scene, many people couldn't help but be shocked. Situ Tianai had actually gone mad. Meanwhile, Lin Feng's boat had drifted far away. Lin Feng looked at Wang Dong, who had not left, and asked, "Why aren't you leaving?" Wang Dong replied, "Because I want to be friends with young Master Ji." "Do you think I'll be friends with you?" Lin Feng looked at Wang Dong indifferently. He did not know this person and did not know where this person got the courage to think that he would be friends with him. Wang Dong said, "Of course you will. It's always a happy thing to have another friend." Wang Dong said. Lin Feng nodded. "I agree with that." "All right, I'll be friends with you then." Wang Dong said. "That's really a happy thing." Lin Feng said. "I hope I haven't made a wrong friend." Wang Dong said. "Of course, you won't make a wrong friend. You have a good eye." Lin Feng smiled. "You're very confident. Capable people are always confident." "Right, there's something I need to tell you," Wang Dong said. "What is it?" Lin Feng asked. Wang Dong said, "I heard that the Undying Realm Lord has come to Minor Western Paradise. I don't know why he's here. The Undying Realm Lord was the Heavenly Emperor's 3rd brother. He was the current World Lord of the Undying Realm and the 2nd strongest person in the Heavenly Court." Lin Feng had seen the battle between the Undying Realm Lord and the Devil World sinners. What was the Undying Realm Lord doing in Minor Western Paradise? Lin Feng was extremely puzzled. Lin Feng had killed Di Wuxuan, who was the Undying Realm Lord's son. Was he here to deal with him? However, the Undying Realm Lord probably did not know that he had come to Minor Western Paradise. Chapter 4961. Lin Feng naturally didn't want anything to happen to Yun Tianyu. However, Yun Tianyu had already left. It seemed like it wouldn't be easy for the Undying Realm Lord and the others to stop Yun Tianyu. Moreover, Yun Tianyu had displayed such a powerful battle prowess. Even if he was stopped, it shouldn't be too difficult for him to escape. Thank you for bringing me this information, Brother Wang. It's very useful to me, Lin Feng said. Wang Dong smiled and said, You're welcome, Brother Ji. I won't disturb Brother Ji and Fairy Lu any longer. Let's meet again in the future. Take care, Brother Wang, Lin Feng said. Wang Dong nodded and left. Lin Feng, the Sinner's Blood Emperor. I didn't expect to meet you here. This is going to be fun. A smile appeared on Wang Dong's face. He had met Lin Feng before. However, Wang Dong kept a low profile, so Lin Feng didn't know him. Wang Dong also didn't expose Lin Feng's true identity. Wang Dong's schemes were indeed many times deeper than Situ Tianye's. After Wang Dong left, Lu Shaoqing said, Wang Dong seems to be Situ Tianye's friend. Does young master really want to be friends with Wang Dong? Lin Feng smiled. Of course. He's a very interesting person. Lu Shaoqing didn't know what Lin Feng meant by that. She said, I heard that he's very good at scheming. It's best not to have too much contact with him. Lin Feng said, This Wang Dong is definitely not a simple person. I estimate that he's much stronger than Situ Tianyi. He's just hiding his strength a little deeper. Lu Shaoqing was shocked. She said with some disbelief, Is Wang Dong really that powerful? I've heard some rumors about him before, but most people only commented on his personality and not his strength. Lin Feng said, This is the most terrifying opponent. No one knows how strong he is, so he can hide his strength without any qualms. You also said that he's very good at scheming. This kind of scheming cultivator knows what kind of friend is worth making and what kind isn't, Lu Shaoqing said. Shouldn't we stay away from a vile character? No matter how strong Wang Dong is, he's a vile character. Lin Feng smiled and said, How can there be so many gentlemen in this world? Perhaps it's ideal to make friends with a gentleman. Wang Dong's a vile character, and it seems like he is indeed a vile character. However, a vile character is better than a hypocrite. In life, we have to make friends with all kinds of people. People like Wang Dong can't be avoided. Lu Shaoqing thought about it, and felt that Lin Feng's words were very reasonable. She couldn't help but nod. Lin Feng's hands once again wrapped around Lu Shaoqing's soft waist. Happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face. After Yun Tianyu left the Sacred Treasure Pavilion, he quickly flew towards the northwest. That area was a vast ancient forest. The three ancestors of the Baji Palace followed closely behind Yun Tianyu. Have you contacted the Undying Realm Lord? Asked the first ancestor of the 8 Extreme Palace. His name was Sun Yuanqing, and he was the strongest of the 3 ancestors. I've already contacted him. He's rushing over here, said the third ancestor of the 8 Extreme Palace. He was the one who lost an arm to Lin Feng. Previously, the third ancestor of the 8 Extreme Palace was more active. The first and second ancestor kept a low profile and didn't move much. He was called Zhou Zihan, and it was said that he was most proficient in soul attacks. Therefore, he was weaker in terms of magic power and other abilities. As for the second ancestor of the 8 Extreme Palace, his name was Dong Fangqing. He said, Yun Tianyu hasn't discovered us yet. However, as time passes, I'm afraid he'll discover us. If he discovers us, we'll be in trouble. At that time, he'll definitely find a way to shake us off. If he escapes, it'll be very difficult to hunt him down again, said the third ancestor, Zhou Zihan. Don't worry. The Undying Realm Lord is definitely aware of this. That's why he'll definitely rush over as fast as he can. 3 days later, they met up with the Undying Realm Lord. The Undying Realm Lord was floating in a ball of divine light. He was very powerful, and his combat strength was heaven-defying. In the Undying Realm, there weren't many existences that could contend against him. Under normal circumstances, the Undying Realm Lord wouldn't personally take action. However, this time, the Undying Realm Lord was more concerned about this matter. This was because the Undying Realm Lord seemed to possess something that he was very interested in. Previously, when he slaughtered his way into the ancestral land of the Undying Realm Lord, the Undying Realm Lord had participated in the battle on behalf of the Heavenly Emperor. After that, he searched for the unknown item in the ancestral land of the Undying Realm Lord. However, he couldn't find it. After so many years, the Heavenly Emperor still hadn't given up. However, even the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace didn't know what the Heavenly Emperor and the Undying Realm Lord were looking for. However, it must be something extremely important. Lord. After seeing the Undying Realm Lord, the 3 ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace quickly bowed. The Undying Realm Lord nodded. The number 1 ancestor of the 8 Extreme Palace, Sun Yuanqing, said, "Originally, we shouldn't trouble you to deal with Yun Tianyu. After all, you're currently dealing with the sinner's blood from the devil world who invaded the Undying Realm. However, Yun Tianyu is too powerful. That's why we asked the Heavenly Emperor for help. You don't have to blame yourselves. Yun Tianyu is also a great threat to me. He's a Confucian cultivator, but he cultivates both Confucianism and Buddhism. He's very strong. Moreover, he's too close to the Undying Realm Lord. It's really not a good thing. If it wasn't for that bitch from the Undying Realm Lord blocking my attack for him, he would have died long ago. All these years, I've been trying to find him, but he's too good at hiding. That's why I haven't found a chance to kill him. Since he dares to appear so brazenly, I'll personally deal with him." The Undying Realm Lord sneered. When he thought of the battle back then, a sneer appeared on his face. These people didn't stop. They quickly chased after Yun Tianyu. An hour later they saw Yun Tianyu. These people didn't hide their tracks. Therefore, they were discovered by Yun Tianyu. "It's you." Yun Tianyu glared hatefully at the Undying World Overlord. He had a blood feud with the Undying World Overlord. "That's right, it's me. Yun Tianyu, your death has arrived." The Undying Sector Lord sneered. "Go." Yun Tianyu's expression changed drastically, and he quickly fled into the depths of the forest. Chapter 4962. Lin Feng was very comfortable in the Western Paradise City. However, Lin Feng also noticed that some people had been watching him recently. These people were none other than the cultivators of the 8 Extreme Palace. Lin Feng punished Situtianai by making him kneel on the ground. Situtianai couldn't endure such humiliation and ended up suffering from chi deviation, completely crippling him. This matter caused a huge uproar. Originally, many people thought that the 8 Extreme Palace wouldn't let this matter go. However, the strange thing was that the 8 Extreme Palace didn't deal with Lin Feng for some unknown reason. When Lin Feng found out about Situtianai's chi deviation, he was very surprised. He only wanted to punish Situtianai. Who would have thought that Situtianai would suffer from chi deviation? Wasn't this guy's mental fortitude too weak? No wonder he was trampled by young Master Mingwe despite being so powerful. Compared to young Master Mingwe, apart from having a slight advantage in terms of age, young Master Mingwe was a far cry from young Master Mingwe. Of course, the advantage in terms of age referred to the fact that this fellow was much older than young Master Mingwe, not much younger. Lin Feng naturally didn't worry about Situtianai's matter. He was bold and didn't fear the people of the 8 Extreme Palace. However, the cultivators of the Western Paradise City were in an uproar. The news of Situtianai's chi deviation spread like wildfire. Many people had a gloating expression on their faces. Then, they talked about how Situtianai didn't destroy the ancient gathering place. Even now, many people still wanted to curse Situtianai. This was because the ancient people still had some contact with the outside world. Although there weren't many of them, the ancient people still had some special heavenly treasures that were very beneficial to cultivators. Occasionally, they would trade these things with cultivators in the outside world in exchange for things they needed. However, after the ancient survivors were besieged several times, especially after the gathering place where most of the ancient survivors lived in seclusion was breached by the Baji Palace and other forces. The special treasures of heaven and earth that the ancient survivors possessed were basically not circulated anymore. This made many people extremely angry. However, no matter how angry they were, they didn't dare to provoke the 8 Extreme Palace. Therefore, many people took joy in Situtienya's misfortune. There was a saying that a person's lowly self would be punished by the heavens. This saying was indeed true. Lin Feng had been very comfortable these past few days. With Lu Xiuqing's service, he naturally lived like an immortal. Of course, Lin Feng didn't forget about cultivation. Lin Feng. Ling Zishi was still in seclusion. It seemed that her opportunity this time was not small. Otherwise, she would have already broken through. The source energy of the Tao Immortal Realm should still be quite useful to Lin Feng. As Lin Feng refined it, the source energy was also gradually refined by Lin Feng. And Lin Feng made another breakthrough, from the 3rd layer of the human immortal realm to the 4th layer of the human immortal realm. However, there was still a large amount of source energy in his body that had not been refined. Lin Feng continued to refine the source energy in his body. When all the source energy was refined by him, Lin Feng broke through to the 5th layer of the human immortal realm. After completing the breakthrough, a look of ecstasy appeared on Lin Feng's face. After refining the 9 heavens cloud immortal spring and the Tao immortal essence, he had broken through 4 realms in succession. The harvest this time was simply too great. The increase of 4 realms caused Lin Feng's combat power to soar. After completing the breakthrough, Lin Feng began to slowly familiarize himself with his new power. At this time, Shui Yuexin and Lu Xiaoqing actually came together. To be precise, it was Shui Yuexin who came to look for Lu Xiaoqing for some business matters. After all, the business relationship between St. Treasure Pavilion and Baishao Pavilion was very close. Therefore, Shui Yuexin and Lu Xiaoqing often met each other. In the past, when they met, they were quite amiable. Although their relationship was not particularly good, there was no smell of gunpowder. But now, when they met, there was a smell of gunpowder between them. And this smell of gunpowder was naturally caused by Lin Feng. Moreover, Shui Yuexin came from Baishao Pavilion. She knew all kinds of information about the outside world like the back of her hand. Naturally, she knew that Lin Feng and Lu Xiaoqing had been together for a few days. When she found out about this, Shui Yuexin's mood was very bad. Now that she saw Lu Xiaoqing, she naturally lost the calmness she had when facing Lu Xiaoqing. As for Lu Xiaoqing, she was somewhat displeased with Shui Yuexin. She felt that Shui Yuexin was taking herself too seriously. Did she really think that all the men in the world revolved around her? After the two finished discussing business matters, Lu Xiaoqing said with a smile, "Sister, you don't look too good. Did you not rest well these few days?" Shui Yuexin said faintly, "I have rested well. Sister Lu, you don't have to worry about me." Lu Xiaoqing smiled and said, "That's good. Sister, you must take good care of yourself. After all, it's not easy to work alone outside. But sister and I are different. I have young master to take care of me. No matter what happens, young master will help me solve it. Perhaps when young master leaves Little Westfield City, I will also have to leave. At that time, we might not have the chance to meet." Shui Yuexin's fists that were hidden in her sleeves could not help but clench slightly. Her face could not help but turn ugly. Shui Yuexin naturally knew that Lu Xiaoqing was showing off to her. Shui Yuexin originally wanted to say a few words of ridicule to Lu Xiaoqing, but she really did not know what to say. Shui Yuexin even realized that she was actually very jealous of Lu Xiaoqing. "I still have some matters to attend to. I will take my leave first," Shui Yuexin said and then got up to leave. Chapter 4963. After cursing for a while, Lu Xiaoqing muttered, "Actually, I should thank her. If she had really gotten together with the young master back then, with her sticking to the young master's side all day, perhaps I wouldn't have had a chance." After thinking about this, Lu Xiaoqing's resentment towards Shui Yuexin lessened a lot. In fact, her resentment was because Shui Yuexin rejected Lin Feng back then. She felt that Shui Yuexin really didn't know how to appreciate kindness. She only had herself to blame now. It was easy for women to scheme against each other. Otherwise, the concubines in the harem of the various dynasties wouldn't fight to the death. Lin Feng naturally didn't know what Lu Shaoqing and Shui Yuexin were thinking. He was actually very open-minded about the matter between him and Shui Yuexin. Lin Feng wasn't a novice when it came to relationships. After being hurt by Su Yuexi when he was young, Lin Feng told himself that he wanted to be a prodigal son. He wanted to pluck as many flowers as he could. There were so many beautiful women in the world, so there was no need to hang himself on a big tree. It wasn't Lin Feng's style to blame a flower garden for a flower. Therefore, Lin Feng felt that the matter of him gradually distancing himself from Shui Yuexin was a normal matter. Men were more open-minded about this kind of thing. While Lin Feng was in seclusion to stabilize his cultivation, a shocking news gradually spread. This news was about Yun Tianyu, the undying sector lord, and the three ancestors of the Eight Extreme Palace. It was said that after the three ancestors of the Eight Extreme Palace failed to besiege Yun Tianyu, they used a secret technique to quickly report the news to the Heavenly Emperor. As a result, the Heavenly Emperor sent his third brother, the undying sector lord, to deal with Yun Tianyu. There was a reason why the undying sector lord was sent. First, the undying sector lord was very powerful. The success rate of dealing with Yun Tianyu was naturally higher. Second, the Heavenly Emperor wanted to obtain something special from the ancient survivors. No one knew what those things were. The person the Heavenly Emperor trusted the most was his third brother, the undying sector lord. Therefore, he sent his third brother, the undying sector lord, to search for those things. Back then, when the undying sector lord destroyed the gathering area of the ancient remnant, he wasn't able to find what the Heavenly Emperor needed. This time, the undying sector lord took action again. He wanted to capture Yun Tianyu and interrogate him about the whereabouts of the ancient remnant. They planned to attack the ancient remnant again and obtain what the Heavenly Emperor needed from them. Combining these 2 points, the undying sector lord was the best candidate. The combination of the undying sector lord and the three ancestors of the Eight Extreme Palace was too terrifying. Anyone who was targeted by such a combination would probably feel despair. The undying sector lord and the three ancestors of the Eight Extreme Palace naturally felt that Yun Tianyu was dead for sure. They had chased after Yun Tianyu but were discovered by him. Thus, Yun Tianyu quickly fled. However, everything that had happened was within Yun Tianyu's control. This was a trap set up by Yun Tianyu. Yun Tianyu appeared in a high-profile manner. After defeating the three ancestors of the Eight Extreme Palace, he didn't chase after them. Later on, the Heavenly Emperor sent the undying sector lord to assist the three ancestors in dealing with Yun Tianyu. All these things were calculated by Yun Tianyu. Yun Tianyu had already joined forces with some experts of the ancient survivors and arranged a dangerous zone in a mountain forest in the northwest of the Western Paradise City. That place was said to be a burial ground for gods. In the past, an extremely terrifying titled god was buried there. Originally, that place was densely covered with seals. However, for some unknown reason, all the seals disappeared. In fact, the seals in that place didn't disappear, but sunk into the ground. Yun Tianyu and the experts of the ancient survivors took the risk to explore that place and spent 3 years to successfully arrange a grand formation. Once their grand formation was activated, all the seals that had sunk into the ground would be shifted to the surface. Then, the grand formation they arranged would fuse with the grand formation that was shifted to the surface, turning into an even more powerful and terrifying formation. Yun Tianyu lured the undying sector lord and the three ancestors of the Eight Extreme Palace to that place, then activated the grand formation. After the grand formation was activated, an astonishing thing happened. The undying sector lord and the three ancestors of the Eight Extreme Palace were immediately trapped in that place. Previously, the experts of the ancient survivors who were lying in ambush rushed out and activated the grand formation together with Yun Tianyu, besieging the undying sector lord and the three ancestors of the Eight Extreme Palace. The Undying Sector Lord and the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace were extremely powerful figures. The Undying Sector Lord's battle prowess was incomparably heaven-defying. However, no matter how powerful the Undying Sector Lord and the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace were, they were somewhat powerless in the face of the meticulously designed trap of the enemy. Therefore, the Undying Sector Lord and the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace were all injured in this battle. The enemy's main target was the Undying Sector Lord. Compared to the Undying Sector Lord, the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace were truly insignificant characters. However, even the Undying Sector Lord was somewhat powerless in the face of this crisis. 80% of the enemy's attack was focused on the Undying Sector Lord, while the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace only suffered 20% of the enemy's strength. Even so, the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace almost died in this battle. However, the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace weren't ordinary characters. They all carried some forbidden artifacts that they would only use in desperate situations. Therefore, they relied on these forbidden artifacts to bitterly hold on. The situation of the Undying Sector Lord was even worse. It was said that one of his eyes was pierced blind. This attack should have instantly destroyed the Undying Sector Lord's soul, but who would have thought that the Undying Sector Lord had actually cultivated a soul transfer technique? Before his soul was destroyed, his soul had actually been transferred from his mind to his dantian. This was an extremely difficult divine ability to cultivate. However, the Undying Sector Lord had successfully cultivated it. Relying on this powerful divine ability, the Undying Sector Lord successfully avoided certain death. In the end, the Undying Sector Lord escaped with serious injuries. Yun Tianyu and the rest went to pursue the Undying Sector Lord, while the rest stayed behind to deal with the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace. The three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace naturally knew that this was their only chance to escape. If they couldn't escape before Yun Tianyu and the rest returned, the three of them would undoubtedly die. Therefore, the three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace no longer held back. Chapter 4964. These rumors caused a huge uproar in the outside world. However, the authenticity of these rumors had yet to be verified. Now many forces were heading towards the place where the battle took place to investigate this matter. Some forces were looking for witnesses. Not long after, a crystal ball of light was circulated. The crystal ball that was sent out showed some blurry images. In the forest, the Undying Sector Lord who was blind in one eye was covered in blood. There were many wounds on his body that were so deep that his bones could be seen. He escaped from the forest shrouded in darkness. Then, 3 cultivators chased after him. One of them was Yun Tianyu. The other 2 were unfamiliar to everyone. Many people felt that they might be Yun Tianyu's friends or members of the Eternal Remnant. But no matter who they were, they had participated in the encirclement of the Undying Sector Lord. After the Undying Sector Lord escaped, another image appeared in the crystal ball. A stone golem escaped with the 3 ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace. That stone golem was naturally not a real stone golem. It was only transformed from a special magic treasure. If it wasn't for Yun Tianyu and the other 2 experts chasing after the Undying Sector Lord, the 3 ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace wouldn't have been able to escape. Of course, the main target of Yun Tianyu and the others was the Undying Sector Lord. The importance of the 3 ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace couldn't be compared to the Undying Sector Lord. The crystal ball was branded by someone. First, it was sold in the Little Western Paradise City. Then, it began to spread to some ancient cities outside. Moreover, it spread to other domains at lightning speed. If it was just some news, no one would believe it. After all, there were too many rumors in this world. Most of the news could be false. However, the images imprinted in the crystal ball couldn't be faked. Now countless people were discussing this matter. They wondered how the Undying Sector Lord was doing. Many people rejoiced in the misfortune of the Undying Sector Lord, hoping that the Undying Sector Lord would be killed. This was especially true for the cultivators of the top forces. This was because many of the top forces had long been estranged from the heavenly court. Moreover, they disobeyed the orders of the heavenly emperor. However, because the heavenly court was too powerful, they had no choice but to obey the orders of the heavenly court. The most capable helper of the heavenly emperor was naturally the undying Sector Lord. He was an almost invincible existence. If the undying Sector Lord fell, the pressure on the other major forces would be greatly reduced. Lin Feng was also paying attention to this matter. He also saw the images imprinted in the crystal ball. When Lin Feng saw the images, he was extremely shocked. Lin Feng didn't expect such a thing to happen. It was really inconceivable. When he talked with Yun Tianyu before, he didn't see any flaws. Perhaps Yun Tianyu didn't bring him to the gathering place of the eternal survivors because of the eternal survivors. However, the bigger reason was probably because Yun Tianyu and the others wanted to deal with the undying Sector Lord. Yun Tianyu and the others weren't familiar with him. They had only heard some rumors about him before. Therefore, it was naturally extremely unrealistic for them to trust him quickly. It was absolutely impossible for such an important battle to be leaked to him. However, even if he didn't participate in the siege of the undying Sector Lord, Lin Feng was still extremely happy to see that the undying Sector Lord had suffered such a serious injury. The situation of the undying Sector Lord was very bad. He hoped that Yun Tianyu and the others could successfully kill this great threat. Of course, Lin Feng also knew that it wasn't an easy task to kill an expert like the undying Sector Lord. However, maybe Yun Tianyu and the others could really do it. In the next few days, many people were waiting for news. Lin Feng was also waiting for news. He urgently wanted to know if the undying Sector Lord had been killed. Lin Feng hoped that the undying Sector Lord would be killed even in his dreams. However, he could only let nature take its course because he really couldn't help in this matter. He could only watch the show from the side. On the 5th day, news spread that the undying Sector Lord had escaped through some special means. Yun Tianyu and the others weren't able to kill the undying Sector Lord. However, even though they weren't able to kill the undying Sector Lord, they still made him suffer a great loss. This was because the undying Sector Lord had lost an eye. Moreover, his sea of consciousness had suffered great damage. This kind of injury was extremely serious for a cultivator. Moreover, it was an injury that couldn't be healed. Originally, the undying Sector Lord might be able to break through to the Sage Realm in the future. However, it was somewhat difficult now. This path was basically cut off. Many people were discussing this matter passionately. Lin Feng also felt that it was a pity. Of course, even though it was a pity, it wasn't unacceptable. Lin Feng had long expected that it wouldn't be easy to kill the undying Sector Lord. Perhaps we will receive news about Yun Tianyu soon. Lin Feng couldn't help but murmur to himself. After all, after Yun Tianyu was done with his business, he would probably ask the ancient survivors around him about Feng Yaoguang. Now that Yun Tianyu and the others weren't particularly far from the little western paradise city, it wouldn't be too difficult for them to pass the news back. Lin Feng went to look for Lu Shaoqing. Lu Shaoqing, who had become a married woman, seemed to be even more charming. With such a woman by his side, even a monarch wouldn't want to attend the morning assembly. Lin Feng looked at Lu Shaoqing and said, "I estimate that it won't be long before I leave the little western paradise city. Many people already know about our relationship, so you shouldn't continue to stay here. After I leave, the people of the Baji Palace will definitely target you," Lu Shaoqing said. "Young master, I have been doing the handover work these days. My handover work is almost done." Hearing this, Lin Feng felt somewhat emotional. Lu Shaoqing was truly a woman with a pure heart. She had prepared everything in advance. Lin Feng said, "That's good. Let's set off tomorrow to the Sin Domain. Now that the Sin Domain is strong, it's very safe. Once you reach the Sin Domain, you can wholeheartedly cultivate there. If you feel bored and want to do something, you can also find my ancestor to arrange something for you to do." Then, Lin Feng told Lu Shaoqing about the situation in the Sin Domain, as well as the various interpersonal relationships. Since they were about to leave, they naturally couldn't bear to part. Thus, it was a sleepless night. Chapter 4965. Isn't this young Master G's residence? Previously, young Master G punished Situtianai by making him kneel on the ground for a day and a night. Situtianya's mental fortitude is very poor, so he suffered from chi deviation. Now, he's basically a cripple. Situtianai is a heaven's pride second only to young Master Mingwe. He's an elite that the 8th-level palace nurtured. Now that he's a cripple, the 8th-level palace naturally won't let this go. Previously, the 3 ancestors were busy dealing with Yuntian Yu, so they couldn't spare time to deal with young Master G. Now that they're free, they naturally want to eliminate young Master G. The 3 ancestors of the 8th-level palace have just suffered a great loss. Instead of quickly returning to their ancestral land to heal their injuries, they actually came out to wander around. This really makes one speechless. Moreover, as ancestor-level experts, they actually attacked young cultivators. Isn't this too degrading? The 3 ancestors suffered a great loss at the hands of Yin Tianyu and almost died. Now, they're suppressing a belly full of anger. Naturally, they have to find a way to quell the anger in their hearts. That's why the 3 ancestors took action. A large number of cultivators gathered around to watch the show. They were all discussing this matter. Many people were quite disdainful of the 3 ancestors' actions. However, they only dared to talk about it in private. They didn't dare to offend the 3 ancestors unless they had a death wish. Although the 3 ancestors suffered a great loss at the hands of Yin Tianyu, they weren't people that people like them could afford to offend. Offending the 3 ancestors was simply courting death. Now that the 3 ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace had come together, many people believed that young Master G was in danger. After all, no matter how powerful young Master G was, he was only one person. The 3 ancestors of the 8th-level palace were 3 true immortal experts. Moreover, the first ancestor of the 3 ancestors was a Dao immortal expert. This was the second layer of the true immortal realm. His cultivation was unfathomable. Although the first ancestor was injured, an injured Dao immortal expert was still unimaginably powerful. The battle hadn't started yet, but in many people's eyes, the result was already very obvious. "Brat, get out here!" Zhou Zihan, the 3rd ancestor of the Baji Palace and an old acquaintance of Lin Feng, coldly shouted. In fact, he didn't know that the young Master Ji was actually Lin Feng. If he had known, he would have already dealt with Lin Feng. Crown Prince Di Wudao had already given the order to deal with Lin Feng, and the Baji Palace was a loyal supporter of Crown Prince Di Wudao. "I was wondering why it was so noisy outside. Turns out it was you, the old dog, barking outside." Lin Feng walked out of the courtyard, looked at Zhou Zihan and said sarcastically, "It's you." When Zhou Zihan saw Lin Feng, his eyes suddenly flashed with killing intent and monstrous hatred. One of his arms was chopped off by Lin Feng. He dreamed of killing Lin Feng, but he never had the chance. Now, after a short moment of shock, Zhou Zihan's heart was filled with excitement. He finally saw Lin Feng again. Moreover, the other 2 ancestors of the Baji Palace were also here. This time, Lin Feng wouldn't be able to escape. Zhou Zihan was already thinking about how to kill Lin Feng. He couldn't let Lin Feng die a quick death. If he did, it would be too easy for Lin Feng. "Who is he?" The 2nd ancestor of the Baji Palace, Dong Fangqing, looked at Zhou Zihan in surprise. This was because Zhou Zihan obviously knew Lin Feng. Moreover, Zhou Zihan was gnashing his teeth, which aroused Dong Fangqing's interest. Zhou Zihan said, "This brat is the Sinner's Blood Emperor, the son of Lin Beitian, Lin Feng." "What? He's the Sinner's Blood Emperor, the son of Lin Beitian, Lin Feng? The number 1 wanted by the Heavenly Court?" The first ancestor, Sun Yuanqing, couldn't help but exclaim. Zhou Zihan nodded and confirmed. "Yes, this is the brat." After receiving this confirmation, Sun Yuanqing and Dong Fangqing became excited. If they could kill Lin Feng, Lin Feng's powerful lineages, endless wealth, and powerful treasures would all belong to them. They could even plunder Lin Feng's monstrous providence for their own use. Thus, killing Lin Feng was no less than obtaining 4 or 5 heaven-defying fortunes. Secondly, both Crown Prince Di Wadao and the Heavenly Court had issued bounties for Lin Feng, so the rewards were quite generous. Killing Lin Feng would be a great contribution with boundless rewards. Thus, killing Lin Feng was akin to killing 2 birds with 1 stone. With this thought in mind, the 3 ancestors couldn't help but become excited. Oh heavens, that person is the legendary Sinner's Blood Emperor, Lin Feng. No wonder why he is so powerful at such a young age. I finally know why. The relationship between Lin Feng and the Baji Palace has always been very bad. It can even be described as an irreconcilable feud. The Baji Palace is one of the top powers in the minor Western Heaven territory, so it's too late to hide from them. Lin Feng actually came to the minor Western Heaven territory. How audacious! I actually think that this person is bold because of his skill. So what if he is bold because of his skill? Right now, he is surrounded by the 3 ancestors of the Baji Palace. They are too strong, and Sun Yuanqing is a Dao immortal. What can Lin Feng use to fight against them? Thus, there is no doubt that he will lose this battle and die for sure. The surrounding cultivators were extremely shocked after knowing Lin Feng's true identity. Monstrous waves were set off in their hearts. One could imagine that if Lin Feng were to fall here, then the Sin realm, which had been united with great difficulty, would fall apart. At that time, the Sin realm would be quickly breached by the Heavenly Court's army. Ha ha! This is truly a case of wearing out iron shoes in a fruitless search, only to find it without any effort. Sun Yuanqing couldn't help but laugh while looking at Lin Feng. He had cultivated for 30 million years, so what kind of storms had he not seen? Very few things could excite him like this. However, today, he had besieged the Sinner's Blood Emperor, Lin Feng, and this was something to be excited about. Because Sun Yuanqing had sealed himself in the Divine Stone before, after breaking the Divine Stone, his body weakened very quickly. This made Sun Yuanqing extremely panicked. If this continued, the damage to his body would be too great, and he would very likely die of old age quickly. Chapter 4966. The hope he saw was to obtain enough benefits from Lin Feng. He could even devour Lin Feng's powerful bloodline to improve his own. Of course, Sun Yuanqing didn't dare to say whether he could achieve a breakthrough, but this was indeed an opportunity. However, the premise of trying these things was to first kill Lin Feng. If he couldn't kill Lin Feng, then everything was just empty talk. Lin Feng sneered as he looked at these guys. The 3 of them seemed to think that they could defeat him. How ridiculous! If they weren't in their peak condition, Lin Feng would be extremely afraid of them. But now, these 3 guys had just narrowly escaped death, and their injuries hadn't even healed yet. Yet they wanted to kill him. How whimsical. 3 old things, are you in such a hurry to die? In that case, this young master can send you on your way. Lin Feng sneered. After hearing Lin Feng's ridicule, the faces of the 3 ancestors of the Baji Palace suddenly became extremely gloomy. Lin Feng actually dared to look down on them, which made them quite angry. The cultivators who were watching the show were even more surprised. They couldn't believe their ears. Lin Feng was now surrounded by the 3 ancestors of the Baji Palace, yet he was still so arrogant. The word audacious was no longer enough to describe him. Many people thought that Lin Feng was scared silly, so he spoke incoherently. Everyone felt that this was really possible. Otherwise, Lin Feng wouldn't have said such arrogant words just now. Lin Feng! You think too highly of yourself. Death is at hand, yet you are still so arrogant. I'll see how you die later. Zhou Zihan glared fiercely at Lin Feng, his eyes flashing with killing intent. After Zhou Zihan's voice faded, the 3 ancestors of the Baji Palace quickly separated. They divided into 3 directions and surrounded Lin Feng. This way, they could prevent Lin Feng from escaping. Lin Feng looked at Zhou Zihan sarcastically and said, "When I chopped off your arm, I thought you had learned some lessons. It seems that you still haven't learned much. In that case, I will cut off your head later." If you reincarnate as a human, don't ever offend me again. Otherwise, you will still die without a burial place. Many people were shocked. They didn't know who cut off Zhou Zihan's arm. It turned out that it was done by Lin Feng. Now, they finally knew the truth of the matter. Therefore, they were very shocked. However, Lin Feng was still incomparably arrogant. Let's do it, Sun Yuanqing said. He didn't want to continue bickering with Lin Feng because he was worried that the situation would change if he delayed any longer. Moreover, they were at a disadvantage when bickering with Lin Feng. Being ridiculed by Lin Feng made them tremble with anger. However, when it came to bickering, they really couldn't compete with Lin Feng. In that case, they might as well get rid of Lin Feng quickly. The three ancestors of the Baji Palace quickly reached an agreement and decided to besiege Lin Feng. Let's use the joint attack technique, Zhou Zihan said. Sun Yuanqing and Dong Fangxing nodded. They didn't have any objections. The joint attack technique could maximize their combat strength to the maximum. They were naturally happy to do so. The three ancestors of the Baji Palace made a series of hand seals. When the hand seals were completed, dense threads appeared in each of their hands. These threads contained a powerful destructive force. Everyone saw that these threads easily tore the void apart. After seeing this scene, many people were shocked. What a terrifying attack! However, the attack of the three ancestors of the Baji Palace was obviously just the beginning. When the threads were condensed, they intertwined into a large net in the air. It was like an inescapable net. The dense threads intertwined together and shrouded Lin Feng's body. What kind of attack is this? What a terrifying attack! One after another, the cultivators exclaimed, their faces filled with shock. The attacks from the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace were simply too powerful. It was simply unheard of. Anyone who faced such a powerful attack would feel their hair stand on end. Heavenly Buddhas! Deliver all living beings! Lin Feng put his palms together. Suddenly, hundreds of millions of ancient Buddhas appeared behind him. These ancient Buddhas fused together and turned into a huge Buddha. The Buddha sat cross-legged in the void. When the inescapable net shrouded the sky and the sun, the Buddha's light illuminated the world and formed a huge energy shield. The huge energy shield resisted the attack of the inescapable net. The inescapable net emitted a powerful destructive force. The destructive force seemed to want to destroy the huge energy shield condensed by the Buddha, but in the end, it failed. That Lin Feng is so powerful! He actually resisted the joint attack of three true immortals. Some cultivators exclaimed. They couldn't believe their eyes. However, all of this was real. In the face of the joint attack of three great experts, Lin Feng seemed to be able to handle it with ease. It was really incredible. The main reason was that Lin Feng was too young. If he was already so heaven-defying at such a young age, what would happen in the future? As expected of the Sinner's Blood Emperor. He's really too powerful. If he's given time, he'll definitely surpass the Heavenly Emperor. No wonder Di Wudao and the Heavenly Court want to get rid of him. It's because he's too heaven-defying. That's why they want to get rid of Lin Feng before he fully matures. If they wait until Lin Feng fully matures, it won't be easy to get rid of him. Yeah, now is the best time to get rid of Lin Feng before he fully matures. The surrounding cultivators discussed animatedly. The shock caused by Lin Feng's terrifying battle strength was almost indescribable. The three ancestors of the Baji Palace couldn't help but become incomparably gloomy. They didn't expect Lin Feng to be so difficult to deal with. Although they could only display a portion of their battle strength due to their injuries, they still used a joint attack. They still couldn't take down Lin Feng. This made them feel a trace of fear. If they couldn't kill Lin Feng, then, in the future, Lin Feng would definitely become a big problem. Summon the magic treasure! Sun Yuanqing shouted in a deep voice. As soon as his voice fell, he summoned a golden mirror-type magic treasure. Dong Fangqing and Zhou Zihan also summoned their magic treasures. Dong Fangqing summoned a ghost-face saber, while Zhou Zihan summoned a heaven-shaking tower. Chapter 4967. The magic treasures summoned by the three were very powerful, including Sun Yuanqing's mirror-type magic treasure. Dong Fangcheng's ghost-faced blade and Zhou Zihan's sky-shaking pagoda were both extremely powerful. The three of them activated their magic treasures. Sun Yuanqing held the golden mirror in his hand. Powerful beams of light shot out from the mirror one after another. Each beam of light contained world-destroying fluctuations. All of the beams of light bombarded the light shield formed by the huge Buddha. Dong Fangqing held the ghost-faced saber in his hand and slashed out again and again. Each slash was powerful and heavy. Evil spirits flew out from the ghost-faced saber, and then those evil spirits turned into saber light. Clang! 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 Zhou Zihan's sky-shaking pagoda rapidly grew in size. In the blink of an eye, it became as big as a mountain. The sky-shaking pagoda descended from the sky and bombarded the huge light shield. Clang! 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 Attack after attack. They bombarded the huge light shield. The huge light shield shook more and more violently. The three true immortals have summoned their magic treasures. Looks like they don't want to hold back anymore. The three true immortals have summoned their magic treasures to deal with Lin Feng. Their combat power will increase greatly. If that's the case, Lin Feng won't be a match for the three true immortals, right? Lin Feng is not a simple person. Let's just wait and see. Who knows what will happen next? The surrounding cultivators discussed animatedly. Some believed that the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace could win after summoning their magic treasures. Some believed that it would not be easy for them to win. Lin Feng's methods were extremely powerful. How could it be easy for the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace to deal with Lin Feng? However, at this moment, the huge light shield formed by the Buddha was indeed shaking violently after receiving the attacks of the three powerful magic treasures. The situation did not look good. Perhaps, it would not take long for the huge light shield to be destroyed. Lin Feng could not help but frown slightly. Although Lin Feng's words were full of contempt and sarcasm for the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace, in fact, Lin Feng attached great importance to them. Lin Feng's verbal attack was actually to disturb their emotions. Once a person was in a state of anger, it was often easy for them to lose their cool. Once they lost their cool, they might not be able to fully display their cultivation. In fact, Lin Feng attached great importance to the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace. After all, they had a Tao Immortal expert as their leader. If not, Lin Feng believed that he could kill the other two. However, since they had a Tao Immortal expert, killing them would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Seeing that the light shield was about to be destroyed, Lin Feng planned to enter the room and send Ling Zishi, who was in seclusion, into the space-time continuum. Under normal circumstances, Lin Feng was unwilling to expose the secret of the space-time continuum, but now, it seemed that he had no other choice. He could not just watch a beautiful girl like Ling Zishi die here, right? That was naturally not Lin Feng's style. Is this a fight? It looks so exciting. I also want to participate in it. Just when Lin Feng was about to return to the room and send Ling Zishi into the space-time continuum, a voice was heard and Ling Zishi ran out. Ling Zishi came out of seclusion at this critical moment. Looking at her happy face, one could tell that this two-faced girl had obtained a lot of benefits. It is indeed a fight, but these guys are not easy to deal with. Let's leave this place first, Lin Feng said. Although Ling Zishi was a warmonger, she also knew that the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace were not to be trifled with. Therefore, after hearing Lin Feng's words, the three ancestors could not help but nod. Asterisk bang! Asterisk suddenly, a loud sound was heard. The three ancestors of the 8th-level palace manipulated their powerful magical weapons and directly destroyed the huge energy barrier. Then, the three ancestors manipulated their magical weapons to attack Lin Feng and Ling Zishi. Lin Feng began to operate the weapon mantra. The three powerful magical weapons actually changed their direction and quickly bombarded the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace. After seeing this scene, everyone showed an astonished expression. What was going on? Why did the magical weapons of the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace turn around and attack the three ancestors of the 8th-level palace? Wasn't this too inconceivable? Everyone's mind was somewhat confused, but someone who was experienced and knowledgeable knew what was going on, so he said, "That Lin Feng knows the rumored weapon mantra, so he can control other people's magical weapons." After hearing this, many people were shocked. The weapon mantra was a rumored method. Mastering such a powerful method was absolutely tempting. Everyone also knew more about Lin Feng. It made sense that Lin Feng could have such a terrifying combat strength at such a young age. The three ancestors were alarmed to see their treasures flying towards them. They quickly retreated in order to increase the distance between them and their treasures. Of course, this wasn't the end of it. While retreating, they also attempted to regain control of their treasures. Once they regained control of their treasures, they were able to do so as well. Lin Feng and Ling Zishi rushed out of the encirclement of the three ancestors. "Ha ha ha, three old farts, this young master still has some matters to take care of, so I'll let you live for now. However, this young master will soon send you to your deaths." Lin Feng's laughter came from the distance. Many people couldn't help but wryly smile. Before leaving, Lin Feng had to say some infuriating words to annoy the three ancestors. The three ancestors' expressions were extremely gloomy. They put away their magical weapons and quickly chased after Lin Feng and Ling Zishi. However, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi's speed was too fast and soon disappeared without a trace. In the forest, Lin Feng leaned against a tree to rest. Ling Zishi said with some dissatisfaction, "Why are you running? Why don't you fight those three shameless old farts? We can definitely beat them." Chapter 4968. Lin Feng rolled his eyes and said, "I think you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. They aren't three virtual immortals. If they were three virtual immortals, would I have chosen to leave? I would have killed them long ago. One of them is a Tao immortal. An expert of this level is still a great threat to us. In other words, even if we can kill this Tao immortal expert, we will have to pay a heavy price. This is not something I want to see." Ling Zishi wanted to refute Lin Feng's words, but Lin Feng's words were very reasonable. Ling Zishi also knew that Lin Feng's words were very reasonable. Therefore, she didn't know how to refute Lin Feng. Perhaps she didn't even have a way to refute Lin Feng. She sat down beside Lin Feng and asked, "What do you plan to do next? I'm so tired. I want to rest for a while," Lin Feng said as he lay down on Ling Zishi's thighs. Ling Zishi's face turned slightly red. Then she said angrily, "Bastard! You're taking advantage of me. Get off me," Lin Feng said. "If you keep shouting, do you believe that I won't drag you into the forest right now?" Ling Zishi clenched her teeth when she heard Lin Feng's threat. However, she didn't dare to say anything in the end. Lin Feng lay on Ling Zishi's thighs and smelled the pleasant fragrance coming from her body. Although this girl was very black-bellied and was usually carefree, she was actually very pure and kind. It didn't take long for Lin Feng to fall asleep. Ling Zishi looked at Lin Feng's handsome face. Sometimes she wanted to scratch Lin Feng a few times. Sometimes she wanted to bite Lin Feng a few times. The way she bared her fangs and brandished her claws was really cute. However, she didn't disturb Lin Feng. Perhaps she felt that Lin Feng would also feel tired sometimes. Ling Zishi suddenly thought of her father. Her father was quite tired sometimes. After all, men and women were different. Because men were burdened with a lot of pressure, and that pressure was often enough to crush a person. Lin Feng didn't know how long he slept, but it was really comfortable. Ling Zishi's body was very soft, and he slept very peacefully on her thighs. This might be a good time to pull Ling Zishi over and lie on her thighs like this time. If possible, he could even hug her small waist. Presumably, it would be a very good experience. "Bastard, you finally woke up. Do you know that my legs are going numb because of you?" Ling Zishi said unhappily. "I'll help you rub it." Lin Feng stood up and said with a smile. Then, he stretched out his hand and pretended to help Ling Zishi rub her numb thighs. A woman's thighs were also a sensitive place. Ling Zishi naturally wouldn't let Lin Feng do as he pleased. Moreover, she felt that Lin Feng definitely didn't have any good intentions, so she said, "I don't need you to rub it. Just let me punch you." After saying that, Ling Zishi threw a punch at Lin Feng's face. Lin Feng was speechless. This girl was really violent. She really attacked without any hesitation. Lin Feng also looked like he wanted to cry but had no tears. Lin Feng didn't let Ling Zishi have her way. Before Ling Zishi's fist landed on his handsome face, Lin Feng had already jumped down from the tree. Thus, Ling Zishi's fist lost its target and smashed into the air. Ling Zishi angrily jumped down from the tree. She didn't continue to find trouble with Lin Feng. Instead, she asked, "What are we going to do next?" Lin Feng said, "Do you still need to say it?" "Of course, we'll go straight to the root of the problem and raze the Baji Palace to the ground." After hearing Lin Feng's words, Ling Zishi immediately showed an excited expression. She had the personality of a little witch, and only wished for the world to be in chaos. Therefore, Lin Feng's words just now were really to her liking. She almost cried out in joy. "You won't lie to me, right?" Ling Zishi looked at Lin Feng and asked. "Of course not," Lin Feng said. "But with just the two of us, we shouldn't be a match for them, right?" After the initial excitement, Ling Zishi calmed down and said, "A power like the Baji Palace must have some foundation. The Baji Palace's 3 ancestors might only be experts on the surface." Lin Feng began to admire Ling Zishi. She always looked like she didn't care much, but in fact, she was very meticulous. Lin Feng said, "With just the two of us, we definitely won't be able to do it. It's too dangerous. However, we can contact Yun Tianyu and the others. Now that the Undying Realm Lord has escaped with serious injuries, he won't have the time to care about the Baji Palace. Although the Baji Palace has a very strong foundation, if we join forces with Yun Tianyu and the others, even if we can't destroy the Baji Palace, we will definitely be able to inflict serious damage to them. Whether we can destroy the Baji Palace or not depends on what kind of foundation they have. If they have some unimaginably strong foundation, then destroying the Baji Palace is simply a pipe dream," Ling Zishi said. Lin Feng realized that he had underestimated Ling Zishi. Her analysis of the matter was reasonable, which greatly surprised Lin Feng. He felt that the Ling Zishi he saw might only be the tip of the iceberg. As for why he had such a feeling, Lin Feng didn't know. However, this feeling was very strong. Of course, Lin Feng wouldn't say much because he was getting along well with Ling Zishi. Lin Feng also had a good feeling about her. When he was with Ling Zishi, Lin Feng felt very relaxed. "Let's find Yun Tianyu and the others first," Lin Feng said. Then, he flew towards the direction of the Lesser Western Paradise. "Where are you going?" Ling Zishi asked. "Back to the Lesser Western Paradise and wait for Yun Tianyu's people to contact me," Lin Feng said. "How do you know that Yun Tianyu's people will contact you?" Ling Zishi asked. "I guessed," Lin Feng said. Ling Zishi pursed her lips and said, "What if they don't contact us and we get blocked by the 3 ancestors of the Baji Palace?" Chapter 4969. What you said makes sense. "In that case, let's return to Little Western Paradise City," said Ling Zishi. "Let's go," said Ling Zishi. Lin Feng and Ling Zishi swaggered back to Little Western Paradise City. Many people were surprised to see them. They just left Little Western Paradise City not long ago. Why are they back? Yeah, I wonder what they're thinking. Aren't they afraid of being surrounded by the 3 ancestors of 8 Extreme Palace? Surrounded? What? The 3 ancestors of 8 Extreme Palace have already left. They went back to their ancestral land to heal. Why did the 2 of them return to the Western Paradise City? Who knows? Many people couldn't help but start discussing. They were all trying to guess why Lin Feng and Ling Zishi had returned to Little Western Paradise City. After returning, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi went straight to the City Lord Mansion. The position of City Lord of Little Western Paradise City was held by the people of 8 Extreme Palace. Everyone knew this. Lin Feng naturally knew this as well. Moreover, Lin Feng knew that the current city lord was Situtianya's father. Therefore, Lin Feng suggested destroying the city lord mansion on the way. He wanted to show off his strength to 8 Extreme Palace. Although this wouldn't hurt 8 Extreme Palace, it would still be a huge loss. However, doing so would damage the reputation of the 8 Extreme Palace. Of course. Most importantly, that way, Lin Feng would be able to vent his anger and anger. Leng Zishi, who loved to see the world plunged into chaos, was extremely excited when she heard Lin Feng's suggestion. "Let's follow them and see what they're up to," said a cultivator. Many people followed them. They wanted to see what Lin Feng and Leng Zishi were up to. Soon, they discovered that Lin Feng and Leng Zishi were going straight to the city lord mansion. 8 million years ago, the people of 8 Extreme Palace took charge of the city lord mansion of Little Western Paradise City. There have been 6 city lords in total. Many experts of 8 Extreme Palace are stationed in the city lord mansion. Now Lin Feng is going there. What is he trying to do? Is he trying to deal with the experts of 8 Extreme Palace in the city lord mansion? Said a cultivator. I feel that it's possible, someone replied. He really felt that Lin Feng was going to deal with the cultivators of 8 Extreme Palace in the city lord mansion. After all, Lin Feng and 8 Extreme Palace were now in an irreconcilable relationship. Lin Feng's strength was formidable. In addition, the 3 ancestors of 8 Extreme Palace had returned to their ancestral land. Although there were many experts of 8 Extreme Palace in the city lord mansion, there were no true immortals guarding the place. On the other hand, Lin Feng was an expert who could contend with true immortals. Therefore, many people believed that if Lin Feng really wanted to deal with the experts of 8 Extreme Palace in the city lord mansion, those people might really be killed by Lin Feng. At this time, another cultivator said, Lin Feng is indeed powerful. If he takes action, it's possible for him to destroy the city lord mansion. However, the city lord mansion has already been reinforced with many powerful grand formations. If those grand formations are activated, Lin Feng will be trapped in them. It's hard to say what the result will be. Another cultivator agreed. This brother is right. The result of a battle between cultivators depends on various factors. One's strength is one aspect, but external factors are also very important. Grand formations can often play a role in reversing the result of a battle. There are too many such cases. For example, the Undying Realm Lord was almost killed. Wasn't it because he was careless and accidentally entered a grand formation and was injured by Yun Tianyu and the others? If it wasn't for the Undying Realm Lord's superb means, I'm afraid it wouldn't be as simple as being injured. He would have died without a burial place. We'll know the result of this battle later. Let's see if Lin Feng will destroy the City Lord Mansion or if the experts of the City Lord Mansion will use the power of the grand formations to kill Lin Feng, an old man said. The others nodded. Everyone was naturally looking forward to this battle. There were many informants in the City Lord Mansion. When Lin Feng and Leng Zishi entered the city, they didn't hide their identities. They swaggered into the city. Therefore, the news of Lin Feng and Leng Zishi entering the city was immediately known by the City Lord Mansion. The news of Lin Feng and Leng Zishi heading straight to the City Lord Mansion was also known by the City Lord Mansion. This news spread like wildfire, and quickly spread throughout the city. When everyone heard that Lin Feng was going to destroy the City Lord Mansion, they were very shocked. Then, a large number of cultivators rushed towards the City Lord Mansion. When Lin Feng and Leng Zishi arrived at the City Lord Mansion, the City Lord Mansion was already enveloped by a powerful restriction. It seemed like the cultivators of the City Lord Mansion were already prepared for battle. They were waiting for Lin Feng's arrival. As expected, the City Lord Mansion's people have activated the Grand Formation. There are many dangers inside the Grand Formation. Once someone falls into the Grand Formation, they will encounter extremely troublesome matters. At that time, they can only passively take a beating. Lin Feng probably knows this as well. Therefore, I guess he will return empty-handed, a cultivator said. He felt that Lin Feng wouldn't rashly enter the City Lord Mansion. Who knows? Maybe Lin Feng is very confident in himself, and will take the risk to enter the City Lord Mansion? Said another cultivator. Actually, many people hoped that Lin Feng would go into the palace because people like to watch a good show, so of course they wanted to watch a good show. In any case, this matter had nothing to do with them. They didn't care about the final result. Of course, if possible, they still hoped that Lin Feng would destroy the City Lord Mansion. This was because many people hated the 8 Extreme Palace. However, the 8 Extreme Palace was too powerful. No one dared to offend the 8 Extreme Palace. Therefore, no matter how much they hated the 8 Extreme Palace, they naturally didn't dare to say it out loud. More and more cultivators rushed over. Even Shui Yuexin was here. Now that Shui Yuexin knew that Lu Xiaoqing had left Minor Western Sky City, her heart was filled with mixed feelings. There was an indescribable bitterness in her heart. Chapter 49-70. Leng Zishi shouted from the outside. The people inside, listen up. You've been surrounded. If you know what's good for you, come out quickly. This way, we can give you a quick death. If you don't know how to appreciate favors, after we break through the formation outside, you will definitely die miserably. When the cultivators outside saw that Ling Zishi was threatening the cultivators of the Baji Palace, they couldn't help but roll their eyes. Lin Feng and the others only had 2 people. How could they encircle the Baji Palace? Did they think that the mansion's people were fools? Of course, there were also those who felt that Ling Zishi was a very interesting person. She was probably just entertaining herself right now. Lin Feng! Come in if you have the ability. Let us see what you're capable of. At this time, a sneer came from the mansion. After hearing this sneer, many people couldn't help but be stunned. The people from the mansion were actually provoking Lin Feng. Clearly, these cultivators were very confident in the formation that enveloped the mansion. They were provoking Lin Feng in order to anger him. Then, they hoped that the angry Lin Feng would enter the mansion. At that time, Lin Feng would be surrounded by the formation. They could then activate the formation to kill Lin Feng. You really think that a mere formation can deal with me? What a laughable and foolish fellow! Lin Feng sneered. Don't brag outside, come in if you have the ability. After you come in, we'll beat you until you kneel and call us daddy. More people continued to provoke Lin Feng. After hearing the cultivators of the Baji Palace provoking Lin Feng, many people couldn't help but murmur. Those cultivators of the Baji Palace were really good at talking. Anyone who heard that kind of mockery would be furious, right? Moreover, in everyone's opinion, Lin Feng was a decisive killer with a domineering personality. How could Lin Feng endure being humiliated like this? Therefore, many people felt that Lin Feng would definitely enter the City Lord's mansion. What Lin Feng needed to do now was to remain calm and not enter the City Lord mansion. Once he did, he would fall right into the hands of the 8 Extreme Palace cultivators. When that happened, he would become a turtle in a jar, unable to escape even if he had wings. I'll fulfill your wishes. I'll chop off your heads later. Lin Feng's voice was cold as he walked towards the City Lord's residence. My God, he's really going to enter the City Lord's mansion. He's still too young. Once provoked, it's easy for him to do something impulsive. I wonder what will happen later. The surrounding cultivators who were watching the show immediately began to discuss spiritedly. Ling Zishi also quickly followed. She was someone who liked to join in the fun. How could she not go in? Lin Feng also knew that he could not persuade Ling Zishi, so he did not stop Ling Zishi. Furthermore, Lin Feng also wanted to observe and see what kind of cultivation Ling Zishi had. Soon, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi entered the City Lord's mansion. When they entered, the array was instantly activated. The white fog rolled and the killing intent was dense. The situation inside the City Lord's mansion was completely covered by the white fog, so no one could see what was going on inside the City Lord's mansion. Lin Feng, die! At this time, a cold voice came from the City Lord's mansion. Everyone knew that this was the voice of an expert from the 8 Extreme Palace. Although there were no true immortal experts in the City Lord's mansion, in reality, the city lord of the city lord's mansion, Situtianya's father, Situminquin, was also an extremely terrifying existence. He was only one step away from the true immortal realm. However, it was said that his talent was amazing, so his combat strength was comparable to many true immortal experts. With such an expert in charge, coupled with the power of the Great Array, this was where the confidence of the 8 extreme palace cultivators came from. At least, that was what many cultivators who were watching the show thought. How is this possible? Why is our Great Array ineffective against you? At this time, the voice of the 8 extreme palace cultivators came from the city lord's mansion again. However, this time, it was the voice of the 8 extreme palace cultivators who were frightened. After the voice just now, there was an incomparably mournful scream. These were also the voices of the 8 extreme palace cultivators. Retreat, retreat quickly, retreat to the deepest part. A low voice came out. Some people recognized the owner of this voice. It was the voice of the city lord, Situminquin. Everyone was shocked. No one could see what was going on inside, so they could only judge what was going on based on the voice. Judging from the voices of the 8 extreme palace cultivators, the great array that enveloped the city lord's mansion didn't cause any harm to Lin Feng. These people mainly relied on the great array to deal with Lin Feng. If the great array couldn't hurt Lin Feng, it would be a disaster. Therefore, miserable screams came out one after another. The 8 extreme palace cultivators fell under the attacks of Lin Feng and Ling Zishi. Situminquin ordered the experts of the 8 extreme palace to retreat to the depths of the city lord's mansion. There should be an even more powerful array there, right? How can this be? Everyone looked at each other in dismay. Before the battle, everyone had speculated about many possible scenarios. The only thing they didn't expect was the current situation. One could imagine that the city lord's mansion was now a sea of corpses and blood. Hee, weren't you guys very arrogant before? Why are you scared now? At this time, Ling Zishi's voice came from the city lord's mansion. Activate the ultimate great array to deal with them. Situminquin's voice came again. Waves of violent fluctuations came from the city lord's mansion. Even though they were far away, after feeling the violent fluctuations, many people's faces turned pale. The fluctuations were so terrifying that it made their hair stand on end. One could imagine how powerful the ultimate great array was. While many people were still speculating whether Lin Feng could withstand the attack of the ultimate great array, the 8 extreme palace cultivators cried out in despair. Why? Why is this happening? Why can't the ultimate great array hurt you? Go to hell and ask the king of hell. Lin Feng's voice came for the first time. Horrible shrieks filled the air. Many people begged for mercy, but Lin Feng didn't pay attention to them. When all the voices disappeared, the atmosphere became calm again. What's the situation in the city lord's mansion now? Some cultivators couldn't help but mutter. Everyone was waiting. If no one activated it, the great array would gradually disperse. Chapter 4971. Dead, they're all dead. Even the city lord, Situminquin, died inside. A cultivator said in horror. There were at least 1,000 corpses inside, all of which belonged to the experts of the Baji Palace. The originally lively city lord mansion had now turned into a purgatory. Lin Feng is really a terrifying person. We can't offend such a person. Otherwise, we'll be doomed, someone said with a pale face. This person is decisive in killing. He's definitely someone who can achieve great things. Before the rise of the Sin Realm, many people thought that Lin Feng was just a chess piece pushed to the front. They thought that there was an expert behind the rise of the Sin Realm. But now, it seems that this theory is not very reliable. Now that I've seen Lin Feng's means, I'm more willing to believe that the rise of the Sin Realm is actually due to Lin Feng's contribution, another cultivator said. Many people whispered to each other, talking about Lin Feng, the battle, and Lin Feng's character. Many people even planned to go to the Sin Realm to seek refuge with Lin Feng because they felt that if they joined Lin Feng, they might have a good future. Many people had such thoughts. Of course, for now, Lin Feng didn't know about the various thoughts of the cultivators in the outside world. He and Ling Zishi left the little western paradise city. Your Excellency, you can come out now! After coming out, Lin Feng looked at the void behind him and said. He had already sensed that someone was following him. Lin Feng guessed that perhaps the person he was waiting for had already arrived. Moreover, he was hiding in the dark to observe him. A middle-aged man stepped out of the void. The middle-aged man was thin and looked a little sickly. He looked at Lin Feng in surprise and said, Fellow Taoist Lin, you're really capable. My concealment technique can't be discovered by ordinary people. Now that everyone knew that Lin Feng's combat strength was equivalent to the true immortal realm, this person actually called Lin Feng, fellow Taoist. Obviously, this person was a true immortal realm expert. Lin Feng said, I cultivate the Tao of space, so I'm more sensitive to space. The middle-aged cultivator smiled and said, So that's how it is. Fellow cultivator Lin's methods are truly admirable. Let me introduce myself. I'm Qizishu, a friend of Yun Tianyu. I came here because Yun Tianyu asked me to invite fellow cultivator Lin for a chat. After hearing this person's words, Lin Feng suddenly felt a little happy. It seemed that he would soon know the whereabouts of Feng Yaoguang. Naturally, he was very happy. Lin Feng said, Brother Qi, please lead the way. Brother Lin, follow me. Qi Zishu also changed the way he addressed Lin Feng. He led the way while Lin Feng and Ling Zishi quickly followed behind. Lin Feng asked, I believe Brother Qi must have participated in the battle against the Undying World Overlord, right? Yes. Unfortunately, we still failed. Although we successfully activated those ancient great formations and drew out the baleful yin qi that had accumulated underground for hundreds of millions of years to deal with the Undying World Overlord, we still couldn't kill him. The Undying World Overlord's cultivation is probably at the peak of the Golden Immortal Realm. Of course, it's also possible that he's at the Sage Immortal Realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to escape. Qi Zishu said with a sigh. This battle was truly a pity for them, Lin Feng said. However, being able to severely injure the Undying World Overlord is already a very shocking achievement. Qi Zishu said, I can only console myself like this. By the way, Brother Qi, I wonder if there are any experts among the ancient survivors with Brother Yun? Lin Feng asked. Previously, Lin Feng had addressed Yun Tianyu as Senior Yun. This showed that he respected Yun Tianyu. In fact, with Lin Feng's current strength, he could already be considered as Yun Tianyu's peer. Since Yun Tianyu's good friend addressed him as fellow Taoist, Lin Feng naturally had to change the way he addressed Yun Tianyu. Otherwise, wouldn't the seniority be messed up? Qi Zishu said, There is indeed a master of the ancient remnant with Brother Yun. After you meet him, you can ask him if you have any questions. Lin Feng nodded. He was very excited, but Lin Feng was trying his best to control his emotions. 2 hours later, Lin Feng met Yun Tianyu and another cultivator in a valley in the forest. The other cultivators who had participated in the battle against the world leader of the immortal world and the 3 ancestors of the Baji Palace weren't there. Lin Feng guessed that those cultivators had probably left already. Yun Tianyu and the others were there because they wanted to see him. Brother Yun, I brought Brother Lin here. This time, Brother Lin killed more than 1,000 experts from the 8 Extreme Palace. Even Situmikun was killed by Brother Lin. How satisfying! Qi Zishu laughed. After hearing this, Yun Tianyu and the other cultivator's eyes lit up. The other cultivator was a very gentle-looking middle-aged cultivator with a righteous expression. Lin Feng guessed that he was an ancient survivor. Yun Tianyu said, Brother Wang, this is the Sinner's Blood King I mentioned to you, Lin Feng. The cultivator called Brother Wang smiled and cupped his fists. Brother Lin, my surname is Wang, and my name is Yun Shan. I've heard Brother Yun mention Brother Lin before, so I've been acquainted with Brother Lin for a long time. Now that I've met you, I'm truly shocked. Brother Wang is too kind. Lin Feng cupped his fists and said politely. Yun Tianyu said, Brother Lin, I've already asked around about that female friend of yours. Brother Wang said that a female cultivator has indeed come from the primordial remnant. Her name is Feng Yaoguang. If you want to ask anything, you can ask Brother Wang. Lin Feng's eyes lit up when he heard that. Lin Feng looked at Wang Yunshan and asked, Brother Wang, how is Yaoguang right now? She has entered the reincarnation passage. She wants to enter the reincarnation passage to find her lost memories. Wang Yunshan sighed. Reincarnation passage? What's that? Lin Feng's expression changed slightly. Chapter 4972. The reincarnation passage would open after 1,000 years. He would only know if Feng Yaoguang was dead or alive after 1,000 years. Would the epic be destroyed after 1,000 years? Would the 6 Taoists collapse? These were all uncertainties. Therefore, the 1,000 years that Wang Yunshan mentioned might be an eternal parting. Lin Feng's expression turned ugly. He wanted to find Feng Yaoguang and help her. He was worried about her safety, but he was powerless. It was a terrible feeling. Is there really no way to open the reincarnation passage again? Lin Feng asked, unwilling to give up. Wang Yunshan said, If there's a way, it's not completely impossible. It's said that if you can enter the heaven-devouring secret realm, you might be able to enter the reincarnation passage from there. Heaven-devouring secret realm? Lin Feng was shocked. The heaven-devouring secret realm was a secret realm left behind by Lin Feng's ancestor, the heaven-devouring evil emperor. Lin Feng even had a token to enter the heaven-devouring secret realm. However, Lin Feng had never heard of any news about the heaven-devouring secret realm, let alone entering it. However, Lin Feng was shocked that there was a way to enter the reincarnation passage in the heaven-devouring secret realm. Lin Feng did not know what it was, so he asked, How does one enter the reincarnation passage from the heaven-devouring secret realm? Wang Yunshan said, I'm not too sure, but since there's such a thing, there must be a way. As for how to enter the reincarnation passage, we'll have to wait until the cultivator enters the heaven-devouring secret realm, or they'll have to figure it out on their own, Lin Feng said. But there hasn't been any news about the heaven-devouring secret realm. The heaven-devouring secret realm should be appearing soon, Wang Yunshan said. Lin Feng's eyes lit up. He asked curiously, Why do you say that? Do you have any evidence? Because it is said that the sky-devouring secret realm will appear once every 10 million years. It has been exactly 10 million years since the last time the sky-devouring secret realm appeared. It is now 3 months. That is to say, the sky-devouring secret realm will appear one day in the next 9 months. However, it is hard to say whether the sky-devouring secret realm will appear in the undying world. It might appear in the heaven realm or somewhere in the mortal world. This secret realm is very special. It drifts in space and time and can only be seen when it appears in the mortal world, Wang Yunshan said. After hearing Wang Yunshan's words, Lin Feng was both happy and worried. He was happy that the heaven-devouring secret realm was about to appear, but worried that the heaven-devouring secret realm was not in the undying world. If he was in another world, he wouldn't know either. Perhaps the token would be able to sense the location of the heaven-devouring secret realm. However, even if the token was able to sense it, there were still some tricky things that he had to consider. For example, if the sky-devouring secret realm appeared in the heaven realm, chaotic Xianhuang world or other places, he wouldn't be able to go there even if he knew where it was. It would be better if it appeared in the mortal world. At most, he could leave the undying world and go to the mortal world. At that time, he could still return to the undying world. However, there was no way for Lin Feng to go to those worlds. Therefore, Lin Feng prayed that the sky-devouring secret realm would not appear in those worlds. It would be best if it appeared in the undying world. This way, he would be able to enter the sky-devouring secret realm immediately. Lin Feng originally wanted to find the sky-devouring secret realm and take away the item left behind by his ancestor, the sky-devouring demon emperor. Now that he knew that the sky-devouring secret realm could enter the reincarnation passage, Lin Feng was even more eager to enter the sky-devouring secret realm. However, these things couldn't be rushed. Lin Feng was very clear about this. Wang Yunshan said. We can understand your feelings, but you need to wait for the right opportunity. Lin Feng nodded. Lin Feng said, I have a plan to deal with the 8 Extreme Palace. I wonder if the 3 of you would like to hear it? What plan? The 3 of them looked at Lin Feng in astonishment. Lin Feng said, Now that the 3 ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace are injured, this is the best opportunity to eliminate the 8 Extreme Palace. If we work together, we should be able to eliminate the 8 Extreme Palace. Why don't we take advantage of this opportunity to eliminate the 8 Extreme Palace? What do you all think? Yun Tianyu, Wang Yishan, and Qi Zishu fell into deep thought. Qi Zishu said, The threat of the 8 Extreme Palace's 3 ancestors has indeed been greatly reduced. Moreover, Brother Lin seems to have grasped some terrifying means that allow him to ignore the attacks of the 8 Extreme Palace's grand formation. I think this plan is feasible. The only thing I'm worried about is that the 8 Extreme Palace might have other trump cards up their sleeves. Moreover, their trump cards might be extremely terrifying. Don't worry. If we're talking about trump cards, I have my own trump cards as well. If we can eliminate the 8 Extreme Palace, my trump cards will allow us to leave safely. Lin Feng said. Yun Tianyu, Wang Yishan, and Qi Zishu's eyes lit up when they heard that. Yun Tianyu asked, Brother Lin, what is your trump card? Ancient demon weapons, Lin Feng said. His. Yun Tianyu, Wang Yunshan, and Qi Zishu sucked in a cold breath when they heard Lin Feng mention ancient demon weapons. Ancient weapons were indeed the most powerful and terrifying trump cards. Once they were unleashed, their power would be unimaginable. However, ancient weapons weren't easy to use. The current situation was a little different because Yun Tianyu and the others were true immortals. Thus, using ancient weapons shouldn't be a problem. Lin Feng said, That's why I think we should give it a try. Even if we can't destroy the 8 Extreme Palace, we should be able to deal a great blow to its vitality. It would be even better if we can destroy the 8 Extreme Palace, Yun Tianyu said. All right, let's give it a try. There's no time to lose. Let's head to the 8 Extreme Palace right now, Qi Zishu said. If we can destroy the 8 Extreme Palace, the entire undying world will be in an uproar. I'm really looking forward to that scene. Hee, let's go and destroy those bastards from the 8 Extreme Palace. Wang Yushan grinned. As an ancient remnant, he hated the 8 Extreme Palace to the bone. But now, he could see the hope of destroying the 8 Extreme Palace, so he was naturally very happy. Chapter 4973. The 8 Extreme Palace was located in the famous Western Ancient Forest. It was located in the depths of the forest, where immortal mist lingered in the air. Between the mountains there were auspicious clouds. This was the ancestral ground of the 8 Extreme Palace. For many people, the 8 Extreme Palace was a power that they yearned to join. Not only was it powerful, it also had the backing of the heavenly court. If one could join the 8 Extreme Palace, their life would be completely different. Every year, many people would come to the 8 Extreme Palace in order to join. However, these people were destined to return empty-handed. Joining the 8 Extreme Palace was an extremely difficult matter. The 8 Extreme Palace rarely recruited disciples from the outside. First, the disciples were chosen from the descendants of the sect. Second, the sect had people who were responsible for searching for geniuses. These people would roam all over the place in order to find geniuses with exceptional talents, and bring them to the 8 Extreme Palace. Of course, this didn't mean that 8 Extreme Palace didn't recruit external disciples. In fact, they would occasionally hold recruitment ceremonies. However, the last time they recruited external cultivators was more than 700 years ago. When Lin Feng's group arrived, they saw many people kneeling outside the sect. These were all cultivators who wanted to join 8 Extreme Palace. However, no one cared about them. A great sect like 8 Extreme Palace naturally wouldn't recruit them just because they were kneeling on the ground. The greater the sect, the more ruthless they would be. Soon, this place will turn into ruins. Leng Zishi giggled, revealing a devilish grin on her face. Lin Feng's group directly flew towards 8 Extreme Palace. A patrolling disciple flew over and coldly shouted, "Impudent! You think 8 Extreme Palace is a place for people like you to casually barge in? Scram right now or we'll kill you all!" As soon as the cultivator's voice faded, Wang Yunshan had already made his move. He sent a palm strike towards those people. An incomparably huge energy palm print condensed in the void. The energy palm print instantly killed more than 10 patrolling disciples. Heavens! Someone killed a patrolling disciple of 8 Extreme Palace. Why are these people causing trouble in the sect's ancestral ground? Are they out of their minds? Naturally, the situation here couldn't be hidden from the many cultivators kneeling outside who wanted to join the 8th-level palace. Immediately, some of them exclaimed in disbelief. Due to the Heavenly Court's support, the 8th-level palace had even suppressed the Western Heaven Immortal sect's momentum. Therefore, who would dare to provoke a colossus like the 8th-level palace? Especially since this was the sect's ancestral ground, the sect's foundation was located here. However, even under such circumstances, those people still came here to cause trouble. It was no wonder that the surrounding cultivators were so shocked and moved. Woo woo woo! There were more than 10 patrolling disciples. Instead, they were divided into several groups. When the other patrolling groups saw the situation here, they immediately blew their horns. Next, the 8 Extreme Palace's Grand Formation was activated. Lin Feng's group was instantly enveloped by the Grand Formation. A large number of cultivators from Baji Palace flew over quickly. Their leader was a skinny old man with sunken eyes and a withered body. He looked like a ferocious ghost that had crawled out from hell. The old man was the Vice Palace Lord of Baji Palace. His nickname was Mysterious Ian Ghost Elder. He was an expert who cultivated both evil and devil cultivation. His evil and devil cultivation were extremely powerful. Although he was only at the quasi-true immortal realm, many true immortal realm experts might not be his match. As for the Palace Lord of Baji Palace, he was the father of young Master Mingyu. He was currently in the hidden gate of life and death, so he didn't appear. Yun Tianyu, Qizishu, Wang Yinshan. It's actually you. Are you here to court death? After seeing Yun Tianyu's group, Ghost Elder Profoundian's face suddenly revealed a dense killing intent. He didn't know Lin Feng and Ling Zishi. Both of them were extremely young, so he naturally didn't put them in his eyes. In his opinion, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi were just nobodies. Those who knew Lin Feng were basically all killed by Lin Feng's group in minor Western Paradise City. Young Master Mingwei also knew Lin Feng, but he wasn't in 8 Extreme Palace right now. The 3 ancestors of 8 Extreme Palace also knew Lin Feng, but they were currently in seclusion. Thus, no one in 8 Extreme Palace could recognize Lin Feng. The experts stationed in minor Western Paradise City had been killed. The people in 8 Extreme Palace's ancestral land didn't know about it for the time being, as the news had yet to reach them. However, the higher-ups of 8 Extreme Palace already knew about Situminkuin's death. Someone like Situminkuin had a Yuan Soul lamp in 8 Extreme Palace. Ordinary cultivators weren't qualified to set up a Yuan Soul lamp. Thus, the higher-ups of 8 Extreme Palace could only determine Situminkuin's death based on the Yuan Soul lamp. They had no way of knowing about the deaths of others. Thus, the higher-ups of 8 Extreme Palace were furious. They had already sent people to investigate how Situminkuin died. Wang Yunshan said, "Ghost Elder Profoundine, you are just a quasi-true immortal. You dare act so presumptuously in front of us? You really don't know the meaning of death. Who do you think you are? Do you really think you're a great character?" Ghost Elder Profoundine said coldly. "Wang Yunshan, you people of ancient times should be cut into pieces. This seat knows that you people are strong, but this is 8 Extreme Palace's ancestral land. With the foundation here, we can easily kill you all. You're even better at bragging than Situminkuin," Ling Zishi said sarcastically. "You killed Situminkuin?" Ghost Elder Profound Yin's expression became extremely unsightly. Lin Feng smiled and said, "To be precise, it has nothing to do with Brother Yun, Brother Qi, or Brother Wang. It was me and this fairy beside me who killed him. Not only did we kill Situminkuin, but we also killed all the experts stationed in Minor Western Paradise City." "What?" The spectral elder's expression changed abruptly when he heard this. Next, boundless killing intent emerged from his heart. It had always been his 8th-level palace that annihilated the other powers. When had his 8th-level palace ever suffered such a huge loss? For the upper echelons of the Baji Palace, this was something they absolutely could not accept. Chapter 4974. Although the old man found it hard to believe that such a young cultivator could be so powerful, there was no lack of young and heaven-defying existences in this world. For example, the 8 young nobles of the Undying Realm, and the recently risen Sinner King, Lin Feng. Lin Feng smiled and said, "I am the Sinner King, Lin Feng." "You are that Lin Feng?" The mysterious dark ghost elder's eyes widened. Then, he burst out laughing. Leng Zishi said, "Old man, are you scared out of your wits? Shut up, little bitch. I'll pluck you later." The old man's evil eyes stared at Leng Zishi. Due to the fact that this old man cultivated an evil merit law, he was very evil. Moreover, he also cultivated the art of plucking others. Now that he saw how charming Leng Zishi was, he naturally had some evil thoughts. "Old bastard, you dare to scheme against me? Why don't you take a piss and take a look at yourself? I'll castrate you later." Leng Zishi immediately cursed loudly. Her personality was quite fierce. Lin Feng's group couldn't help but smile wryly after hearing her cursing. This young lady was indeed ferocious. She could really say anything and dare to say anything. If it were any other woman, they would not dare to say such words. The cultivators outside also knew what was going on. Naturally, they had heard of Yun Tianyu and the others. They had also heard of the Emperor of the Sin's blood, Lin Feng. It turned out that these people had such a great background. They were all peerless experts. They came together. "Don't tell me they want to destroy the 8 Extreme Palace?" a cultivator asked. Many people's expression changed after hearing this. That was indeed a possibility. These people were most likely here to destroy the 8 Extreme Palace. Even though they're strong, this is the ancestral land of the Baji Palace. The Baji Palace is an ancient influential group. They must have a lot of resources. They can easily kill Lin Feng and the others, someone said. Clearly, this cultivator was very confident in 8 Extreme Palace's foundation. He believed that 8 Extreme Palace would definitely win this battle and that Lin Feng and the others would most likely die here. There were quite a number of people who agreed with this cultivator. Of course, there were also some people who felt that Lin Feng's group wasn't simple. It wouldn't be easy for the Baji Palace to kill these people. As for the outcome, perhaps it would be revealed soon. "You won't shed tears until you see the coffin. Let me show you the power of my Baji Palace," the mysterious dark ghost elder said coldly. With a wave of his hand, the terrifying formation was activated. Boom, boom, boom. A meteor shower began to fall from the 9 heavens. Meteorites fell one after another, burning rapidly in the process of falling. These meteorites weren't big. The smaller ones were around 100 meters in diameter, while the bigger ones were around 1,000 meters in diameter. The power of those meteorites was extremely powerful. Especially when those meteorites burned, the power of those meteorites seemed to have increased a lot. When those meteorites came crashing down, the void was shattered by those meteorites. After seeing this scene, the cultivators of the 8 Extreme Palace were naturally incomparably proud. The cultivators outside were also incomparably shocked. What a powerful meteor shower! The power was too terrifying. It was simply despairing. "Follow me," Lin Feng said. He didn't intend to resist the 8 Extreme Palace's formation because these formations were too terrifying. It was an extremely unwise choice to do so. Once they fell into the formation's attack, it would be very troublesome. Even if they were strong, they could still be killed by the formation. Lin Feng was clear about this. Yun Tianyu and the others were also very clear about this because they had used similar methods to almost eliminate a terrifying existence like the Undying Realm Lord. Yun Tianyu and the others also knew that Lin Feng seemed to have the ability to ignore the formation's power. Therefore, they all followed behind Lin Feng. Lin Feng and the others moved through the formation. The dense meteor shower fell down, but none of them could touch Lin Feng and the others. After seeing this scene, the expressions of the profound Dark Ghost Elder and the other cultivators of the 8 Extreme Palace became extremely unsightly. Their expressions were extremely gloomy. The development of the situation seemed to be somewhat different from what they had imagined. Of course, they weren't particularly flustered because this was just the beginning. The cultivators of the 8 Extreme Palace continued to activate the other great formations. All kinds of great formations were activated. Then, the densely packed great formations all rushed towards Lin Feng. Waves of extremely terrifying fluctuations swept through the world, shaking the void. Facing the rain of attacks from the various great formations, it was too difficult to resist. However, Lin Feng was very calm. In the face of these terrifying attacks, Lin Feng led the group through the great formations. This was the ability of the Heavenly Master Dao. No matter what kind of formation it was, it couldn't stop them. Lin Feng's method was truly tyrannical. Even Yun Tianyu and the others couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. They had never seen someone like Lin Feng who could ignore the various great formations. This ability was truly too frightening. If the group knew how Lin Feng destroyed the City Lord Mansion back then, they wouldn't be as confident as before. Now, they were panicking because Lin Feng could ignore the attacks of the great formations. Even a true immortal would die in front of such a terrifying formation. However, it couldn't cause any harm to Lin Feng's group. This was naturally a huge blow to the group. Retreat! Quickly retreat! Old man Xianin shouted in a deep voice. They quickly rushed towards the depths of the 8 Extreme Palace. However, at this time, Lin Feng led everyone out of the great formation. Kill! Wang Yushan shouted and quickly rushed towards the cultivators of the 8 Extreme Palace. Wang Yushan looked very gentle, but even the most gentle person would turn into a man in the face of a blood feud. Wang Yushan was like this, and so was Yun Tianyu. Many of Wang Yushan's relatives had died in that battle back then, and Yun Tianyu's lover had died tragically in front of his eyes. Even after so many years had passed, this blood feud was still engraved in his heart. Unfortunately, they weren't as powerful as they were now. Otherwise, this tragedy wouldn't have happened. Chapter 4975. Yun Tianyu, Wang Yushan, and the others were able to grow to their current level because of their hard work, their talents, and the hatred in their hearts. Although it was said that people should look to the future and not live in the past, they shouldn't live in hatred. However, if they could even forget about hatred, how could they face their dead relatives? The world of cultivators was very cruel. In this cruel world, there were indeed countless people who only cared about their own interests. They didn't even care about the life and death of their relatives, lovers, and friends. Such people naturally could easily put down the hatred in their hearts. However, there were also some people who couldn't let go. Yun Tianyu and Wang Yushan were such people. Therefore, they wanted to kill. They wanted to kill their enemies and avenge their dead relatives, family, friends, and lovers. They crazily slaughtered the cultivators of the 8 Extreme Palace. Miserable screams resounded one after another. A large number of cultivators were killed by them. No one could stop their footsteps. The cultivators outside who wanted to join the 8 Extreme Palace to learn were scared pale as paper after seeing this scene. Fortunately, they didn't join the 8 Extreme Palace. If they had joined the 8 Extreme Palace, but now, perhaps they would have turned into cold corpses by now. Lin Feng held the black dragon sword and slashed out. A powerful sword she shot out and instantly killed dozens of cultivators of the 8 Extreme Palace. Lin Feng didn't sympathize with those cultivators because they were his enemies. In the world of cultivators, if you didn't kill your enemies, you would be killed by your enemies. Therefore, how could Lin Feng sympathize with his enemies? Sympathizing with his enemies was the same as being cruel to himself. Perhaps one day, the enemies you sympathize with will kill your loved ones, your family members, your lovers, and your friends. This is all possible. Because of this, Lin Feng had long developed a cold heart. Of course, Lin Feng's cold heart treated his enemies. He had always been very gentle and friendly to his relatives, family, lovers, and friends. A large number of corpses piled up on the ground. Lin Feng and the others killed their way to the depths of the 8 Extreme Palace. Ask the old ancestors to come out! Old man Xianyin screamed in horror. If it was possible, he naturally did not want to alarm the ancestors who were in seclusion. However, they were unable to fend off the attacks of Lin Feng's group at all. They had suffered extremely heavy losses, so they could only ask the ancestors who were in seclusion to deal with Lin Feng's group. Old man Xianyin and the others retreated to the deepest part of the mountain. That was the main peak, and there were powerful defensive restrictions. They activated the defensive restrictions, and those defensive restrictions blocked Lin Feng and the others outside. Yun Tianyu asked. How long will it take? Lin Feng said. The shortest is 3 days, the longest is 7 days. The guardian array here was very powerful, so it was not easy to break it. Yun Tianyu and the others nodded. They were also proficient in formations, but they were far inferior to Lin Feng. However, when Lin Feng was breaking the array, they could help him from the side. With their help, the situation would be much better. At that time, they would be able to shorten the time needed to break the array. Lin Feng and the others did not waste any time. They immediately began trying to break the array. While Lin Feng and the others were breaking the array, the 3 ancestors and the palace master of the 8 Extreme Palace all came out of seclusion. When they saw Lin Feng and the others, the 3 ancestors' faces turned gloomy. In fact, the palace master's authority had been greatly reduced after the 3 ancestors came out. He was no longer a person who could carry enormous weight. There was nothing they could do about it. Cultivators like them naturally had no way to compete for power with these experts. If these experts wanted to cripple these palace masters and vice palace masters, they probably wouldn't dare to say anything. This was because the world of cultivators was a world where the strong were respected. The words of whoever had the strongest fist were the imperial edict. Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, you actually came to the 8 Extreme Palace. Are you here to die? Today, I will make sure you die without a burial ground. Zhou Zihan's resentful voice sounded when he saw Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, and the others. He hated Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, and the others to the bone. Especially now, Lin Feng and the others had actually killed their way to the ancestral land of the 8 Extreme Palace. It was a slap to their faces. Naturally, they were furious. You're still boasting even now? I want to see what other tricks you have up your sleeves. Lin Feng sneered. Zhou Zihan said. Let's move the sacred ancestor's statue. Sun Yuanqing and Dong Fangxing nodded. Then, the 3 of them revealed extremely pious expressions. Then, they knelt in the direction of the 8 Extreme Palace's main hall. O great sacred ancestor's statue! Now, the 8 Extreme Palace is in danger of being exterminated. O great sacred ancestor's statue, please awaken! Come and annihilate these sinners who dare to invade the 8 Extreme Palace. As soon as the 3 of them finished speaking, the 2 huge statues standing on both sides of the main hall shook violently. The 2 statues were about 20 meters tall and looked very ordinary. However, at this moment, the 2 statues were shaking violently. Moreover, the 2 statues were emitting extremely terrifying fluctuations. When he felt the powerful fluctuations emitted from the 2 statues, Lin Feng's face couldn't help but reveal an extremely shocked expression. This was because the fluctuations made him feel a dangerous aura. Could it be an existence similar to the evil god's statue? Lin Feng couldn't help but ponder. The evil god's statue that Lin Feng had obtained before was extremely powerful. It had the cultivation of a true immortal. When Lin Feng's cultivation hadn't increased, he couldn't release the full power of the statue. Therefore, the evil god's statue had always been at the early stage of a true immortal. However, as Lin Feng's cultivation continued to increase, the 2 statues' battle prowess also continued to increase. There seems to be something different. Lin Feng frowned slightly. These two statues were very special. The aura they emitted was somewhat similar to the evil god statue, but there were also some differences. However, these two statues were extremely terrifying. They were many times stronger than the two statues he had obtained before. Lin Feng guessed that these two statues should be one of the trump cards of the 8 Extreme Palace. "Who's calling us?" Suddenly, a deep voice resounded between heaven and earth. The two statues had actually opened their mouths to speak. "The ancestor's spirit has appeared! The ancestor's spirit has appeared!" Seeing the two statues speaking, the cultivators of the 8 Extreme Palace were extremely excited. They all knelt on the ground and kowtowed to the two statues. Chapter 4976. Sun Yuanqing, Dong Fangxing, and Zhou Zihan were also incomparably excited. With the appearance of their ancestors and the awakening of the stone statues, they saw the hope of killing Lin Feng and the others. This was naturally something worth celebrating. At this time, the three of them sincerely said, "We are the guardians of the Baji Palace. Now that we have no choice but to awaken our ancestors, we ask the ancestors to protect our Baji Palace." Rumble! Rumble! A loud sound shook the heaven and earth. The two stone statues actually walked out step by step. They had completely awakened from their slumber. "Lowly creatures, you actually dare to behave atrociously in the ancestral land of the Baji Palace. You simply don't know life from death. Today, I will send you to hell." The two stone statues opened their mouths at the same time. Their voices were extremely cold, as if they had drifted out from hell. Anyone who heard the voices of the two stone statues would have a creepy feeling. Facing the two terrifying stone statues, the complexion of Lin Feng and the others became slightly dignified. Of course, they were not afraid of the two stone statues. Before the two stone statues arrived, they had already launched an attack on Lin Feng and the others. The two stone statues brandished their battle swords and swept towards Lin Feng and the others. Those were stone swords. Although they were not stone soldiers, they were very special. They were very powerful and couldn't be underestimated. If one dared to underestimate the power of time, they would inevitably suffer a great loss. Lin Feng and the others didn't underestimate the power of the stone swords. In the face of such a powerful attack, Lin Feng and the others also took out their magical weapons. They urged their magical weapons to resist the attack. For example, Lin Feng held the black dragon sword and swept it towards the stone swords. Asterisk clang! Asterisk accompanied by a sonorous collision sound, the stone sword in Lin Feng's hand directly collided with the powerful sword chi of the opponent. Suddenly, a sonorous collision sound was heard. Lin Feng suddenly felt a powerful force that could topple mountains and overturn seas quickly poured into his body. That force was so terrifying that it directly blasted Lin Feng away. Lin Feng's face couldn't help but reveal a trace of horror. The stone statue's attack was too terrifying. It was simply unbelievable. Moreover, the stone statues had yet to display their true combat strength. If they did, who knew how terrifying it would be? In addition to Lin Feng, Leng Zixi was also sent flying. However, Yun Tianyu, Qi Zishu, and Wan Yunshan had completely neutralized the stone statue's attack. Their realms were relatively high, so it wasn't strange that they could neutralize the stone statue's attack. Lin Feng knew that he couldn't hold back in the face of the stone statue's attack. Therefore, Lin Feng poured the power of his avatar, the Golden Dwarf, the Magic Lotus, and the ruler's armor into his body. Lin Feng's strength began to rise steadily. Lin Feng's combat strength also greatly increased. He looked at Leng Zixi and said, "Be careful. Hee hee. I'm very powerful. It was just a slip of the hand," Leng Zixi said with a grin. It had to be said that this two-faced girl was really an optimist. She didn't seem to know how to spell the word fear. No matter what, she was very cheerful. Of course, perhaps Leng Zixi really did have some powerful means that she hadn't displayed yet. At this moment, Leng Zixi suddenly shouted, "Demon King's protection!" As soon as her voice fell, a ball of flames gushed out of Leng Zixi body. The ball of flames burned fiercely, protecting Leng Zishi's body. However, Lin Feng could clearly feel that the ball of flames wasn't as simple as a ball of flames. It seemed to have boosted Leng Zishi's combat strength. This feeling was a little strange, but it was so real. Perhaps this was one of Leng Zishi's trump cards. Everyone, be careful! They're coming! At this moment, Yun Tianyu shouted in a deep voice. A loud rumbling sound was heard as the earth shook violently. The two stone statues rushed over quickly. The two stone statues were like two immemorial immortal mountains. When they rushed over, Lin Feng immediately felt that the surrounding void seemed to be imprisoned. Their movement speed was greatly restricted. This is the stone statue domain. It can restrict the movement of cultivators, Qi Zishu said with a solemn expression. These two stone statues were indeed powerful. They were worthy of being the foundation of Baji Palace. They actually possessed such a terrifying means. The first stone statue swept its sword towards Yun Tianyu, Qi Zishu, and Wan Yunshan. The second stone statue swept its sword towards Lin Feng and Leng Zishi. Facing the attack of the stone statue, Lin Feng swept his sword towards the stone statue while Leng Zishi swept her short blade towards it. Clang! Clang! Their weapons collided and the two of them joined forces to resist the might of the stone statue. However, they were still sent flying. Seeing that, the cultivators from Baji Palace revealed looks of excitement. The might of the stone statues was simply too powerful. They had completely suppressed Lin Feng and the others. Thus, they saw hope in killing Lin Feng and the others. Ha 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 ha! Just you wait! Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, and the others are dead for sure! The cultivators from Baji Palace said excitedly. They hated Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, and the others to the bone. Looks like Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, and the others are dead for sure. Yes, the two stone statues are too powerful. There is simply no way to fight against them. They might be consigned to eternal damnation. The surrounding cultivators discussed spiritedly. They also believed that Lin Feng and the others were dead for sure. The main reason was that the two stone statues were simply too powerful. They were simply invincible. Lin Feng's expression turned grim. They were currently being suppressed by the stone statue's domain. Thus, their movements were sluggish and their combat power was greatly suppressed. However, Lin Feng was not without a way to deal with the stone statue's domain. Lin Feng circulated the domineering aura within his body. Next, the 5 types of domineering aura stacked together to form a domineering magnetic field. The domineering magnetic field enveloped the two stone statues and the stone statue's domain was instantly dissolved. Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, and the others could not stop themselves from revealing looks of joy. Lin Feng said, "Everyone! Follow me and mobilize the ancient demon weapons!" All right. They quickly came to Lin Feng's side. Powerful spiritual energy continuously poured into Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng felt like his body was about to explode after enduring the infusion of so many experts' spiritual energy. He hastily summoned the ancient demon weapons. In fact, this was the first time Lin Feng had summoned the ancient demon weapons. His realm did not allow him to control the ancient demon weapons. Moreover, the ancient demon weapons had deities. Without the deities' recognition, it was even harder to control the ancient demon weapons. Chapter 49-77. This ancient demon weapon was obtained by Lin Feng after he killed the heavenly demon emperor's son. It was an ancient demon weapon that was suppressed by the heavenly demon emperor. The deity of the ancient demon weapon had fallen into a deep slumber. Of course, the ancient demon weapon was terrifying enough. As long as one could activate the ancient demon weapon, there was no need to awaken the deity of the ancient demon weapon. After Lin Feng summoned the ancient demon weapon, it floated in front of Lin Feng. Endless demon qi surged out from the ancient demon weapon. This ancient demon weapon was very strange. Its shape was constantly changing. It looked like a sword, a saber, a spear, and so on. Lin Feng heard that ancient demon weapons were generally divided into 2 types. The first type was when the ancient demon weapon was forged. For example, the demonic blood saber that Lin Feng had seen before. The second type was when the ancient demon weapon's shape was unstable. It might undergo various changes. For example, the ancient demon weapon in front of him. Of course, the shape of the ancient demon weapon might be fixed in the future. It might turn into a sword, a spear, and so on. Everything was possible. However, no matter what shape it took, it wouldn't affect the power of the ancient demon weapon. Lin Feng's Fa Li continuously poured into the ancient demon weapon. The power of the ancient demon weapon was recovering bit by bit. However, even if only a part of its power was recovered, the ancient demon weapon was still terrifying to an unimaginable degree. Yun Tianyu and the others couldn't help but breathe faster. Such a powerful ancient demon weapon made their hair stand on end. Fortunately, this ancient demon weapon originally belonged to them. If it belonged to the enemy, it would be a disaster for them. Kill! With a deep roar, Lin Feng controlled the ancient demon weapon to attack the two stone statues. The ancient demon weapon slightly trembled in the void. In an instant, two dazzling beams of light were formed. The two beams of light contained unimaginably terrifying power as they blasted towards the two stone statues. Humph! The two stone statues couldn't help but snort. They had their own consciousness. Facing the attack of the ancient demon weapon, the two stone statues waved their swords and quickly swept towards the ancient demon weapon's attack. Accompanied by an earth-shaking collision sound, the two stone statues actually blocked the attack of the ancient demon weapon. After seeing this, Lin Feng wasn't surprised. After all, the two stone statues were the foundation of the Baji Palace. It wasn't strange that they could block the ancient demon weapon's attack. Not enough! I need even more Fa Li's Fa Li! Everyone, don't be stingy with your Fa Li! Inject all your Fa Li Qi into my body! Lin Feng said in a deep voice. Because it was the first time that Lin Feng had activated a supreme treasure like the ancient demon weapon, Lin Feng had miscalculated the Fa Li required to activate the ancient demon weapon. The Fa Li required to activate the ancient demon weapon was far beyond Lin Feng's imagination. Fortunately, there were many people on his side, and they didn't use their full strength. After hearing Lin Feng's words, Yun Tianyu and the others didn't hesitate. Powerful Fa Li continuously poured into Lin Feng's body, and the Fa Li ultimately entered the ancient demon weapon. The ancient demon weapon's power became even more powerful. Whoosh! Whoosh! The ancient demon weapon once again shot out two light beams. These two light beams quickly bombarded the two stone statues. A large number of runes gushed out from the two stone statues. Obviously, the two stone statues hadn't used their full strength before. Now, they were displaying a more powerful technique. As the runes gushed out from the two stone statues, the battle strength of the two stone statues continued to increase, becoming even more powerful than before. The two stone statues held battle swords in their hands and once again bombarded the ancient demon weapon's attack. Clang! Clang! The attacks of the two sides collided once again. This time, the two stone statues were repelled by the ancient demon weapon. After seeing this scene, Lin Feng and the others were overjoyed. The ancient demon weapon had gained the upper hand in the second attack. This was naturally a great thing for Lin Feng and the others. This showed that the ancient demon weapon's attack was powerful enough. After seeing this scene, the faces of the people from Baji Palace turned ugly. They were counting on the two stone statues to kill Lin Feng and the others. However, the two stone statues were suppressed instead. This made them extremely worried. The cultivators who were watching the show from the outside were even more shocked. Even the stone statues of Baji Palace were suppressed. How could the ancient demon weapon's power be so terrifying? It was truly shocking. It was truly unbelievable. Previously, everyone had only heard of some things about the ancient demon weapon. After all, only a few people had seen it. Now that they had seen the power of the ancient demon weapon, they knew how terrifying it was. Moreover, everyone knew that the ancient demon weapon that Lin Feng and the others were controlling was only releasing a small portion of its power. In order to fully release the power of the ancient demon weapon, one needed to have the strength to match the ancient demon weapon. This sentence was actually very easy to understand. For example, a true immortal level magic weapon was forged by a true immortal realm cultivator. In order to fully release the power of a true immortal level magic weapon, a true immortal realm cultivator was required to activate it. As for a sacred artifact magic weapon, a true immortal realm cultivator was required to fully release the power of the sacred artifact. However, the ancient demon weapon was a supreme treasure that surpassed the sacred artifact. Wasn't it whimsical for a true immortal to fully release the power of the ancient demon weapon? Being able to release a portion of the ancient demon weapon's power was already quite good. Even so, the ancient demon weapon still displayed such a heaven-defying combat power. Therefore, the cultivators who were watching the show, including the cultivators from Baji Palace, Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, Qi Zishu, Wan Yushan, and the others, were all in disbelief. No wonder so many forces dreamed of obtaining an ancient demon weapon. If they could control an ancient demon weapon, a third or fourth-rate force could immediately become a top force. Ling Zishi was the only one who didn't seem surprised. Ling Zishi's expression and demeanor naturally couldn't escape Lin Feng's eyes. Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter in his heart. Could it be that Ling Zishi already knew that the ancient demon weapon was so powerful? She was just a cultivator from a small force in the wasteland. Lin Feng would never believe that Ling Zishi's family had an ancient demon weapon. Perhaps Ling Zishi had seen someone take out an ancient demon weapon to fight against an enemy? Lin Feng couldn't help but ponder. However, he vaguely felt that things weren't that simple. Chapter 4978. Of course, the most important thing now was to destroy the foundation of the Baji Palace, not to think about the specific origin of Ling Zishi. Lin Feng didn't care about the origin of Ling Zishi. He and Ling Zishi were friends. Whether Ling Zishi came from an ordinary family or a rich family, Lin Feng valued Ling Zishi as a person, not her identity. Even if Ling Zishi was a member of an ordinary small family, Lin Feng would still treat her sincerely. Even if Ling Zishi was the daughter of a ruler, Lin Feng wouldn't change his way of treating her and his principles. At this moment, Lin Feng continued to mobilize the ancient demon weapon to attack the two stone statues. The ancient demon weapon vibrated with terrifying fluctuations. Under the control of Lin Feng, the ancient demon weapon released an even more terrifying attack. Previously, the ancient demon weapon only released a light beam attack, but now, it released an earth-shattering demon chi. Within the demon chi, two illusory figures seemed to condense. The two illusory figures were like ancient demon gods. The earth-shattering demon chi instantly shrouded the two stone statues. Then, the two illusory figures quickly rushed towards the two stone statues. Earth-shattering collision sounds came out from the demon chi. The two illusory figures and the two stone statues fought fiercely. After seeing this scene, Lin Feng revealed a shocked expression. What were the two illusory figures of the ancient demon weapon? Even Lin Feng himself didn't know what they were. The only thing he knew was that the two illusory figures were absolutely terrifying beyond imagination. Bang! 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 The two illusory figures accelerated their attack speed and collided with the two stone statues again and again. The two stone statues were actually suppressed. Clattering sounds came out from the demon chi. Chains condensed from demon chi were formed. The chains crossed the void and wrapped around the two stone statues. Because the two stone statues were suppressed by the illusory figures, when the chains wrapped around them, the two stone statues couldn't escape in time and were entangled by the chains. The two stone statues have been entangled by the chains condensed from demon chi. I'm afraid they are finished. Immediately, some of the spectating cultivators cried out in shock. The scene before them was truly shocking. The two stone statues were so powerful. And yet, it was highly likely that they would be destroyed. Anyone who saw this would feel emotional. Chen Feng's expression changed. The faces of the Baji Palace cultivators became extremely ugly. Many of them were as pale as paper. When they saw the two stone statues unleashing their invincible power, they thought that Lin Feng and the others were doomed. But now, the two stone statues were being suppressed. The ancient demon weapon was too terrifying, simply despairing. Break! The two stone statues roared furiously. They knew that the situation was very dangerous, so they were making a final resistance. They didn't want to die and they wanted to live forever. However, Lin Feng didn't give the two stone statues any chance. He continued to mobilize the ancient demon weapon, and the ancient demon weapon supported the two illusory figures and the chains condensed from demon chi. The two stone statues wanted to use the stone swords in their hands to cut the chains condensed from demon chi, but they failed. At this time, the two illusory figures arrived in front of the two stone statues and continuously launched 36 palm strikes. Each palm strike seemed to have the power to destroy the world. When the 36 palm strikes landed on the two stone statues, kacha sounds of cracking could be heard. The bodies of the two stone statues began to crack. The stone statues are about to be destroyed. The stone statues are the foundation of the Baji Palace. If the stone statues are destroyed, what other foundation does the Baji Palace have? If not, then the Baji Palace will really be destroyed by Lin Feng's group. The cultivators who were watching the show exclaimed one after another. Their faces were filled with horror. A behemoth like the Baji Palace could actually be destroyed. Before this, no one dared to imagine such a thing. But now, they saw the possibility of the destruction of the Baji Palace. Once the Baji Palace was destroyed, it meant that the Baji Palace would completely become history. At that time, the minor western heavenly domain would be filled with a bloody storm because the Baji Palace controlled a lot of resources and territories. The destruction of the Baji Palace meant that the other powers would definitely compete for these resources and territories. Why is this happening? We're not willing to accept this. The two stone statues couldn't help but roar while looking at their constantly cracking bodies. They didn't want to die like this, but they were powerless to stop all of this from happening. The speed at which their bodies were cracking became faster and faster. Not long after, the two stone statues directly shattered into pieces. No, this can't be! Many cultivators on the Baji Palace's side cried out in horror. They didn't want to believe this, especially the three ancestors. They knew how powerful the two stone statues were, but now, they were actually destroyed. This made them extremely unwilling to accept this. Lin Feng sneered. Hurry up and bring out the other foundation of the Baji Palace. Otherwise, you won't have the chance to do so. Ancestors, please come out. The three ancestors of the 8 Extreme Palace shouted. An existence that could be called an ancestor by the three ancestors must be extremely ancient and powerful. After hearing the three ancestors shout, the cultivators from the Baji Palace became excited. There were even more ancient and powerful existences in the Baji Palace? They must be the ultimate experts of the Baji Palace, right? We are willing to use our blood as a guide to summon the ancestor from an endless distance away. The three ancestors spat out 3 mouthfuls of blood essence and began to pray devoutly. The 3 mouthfuls of blood essence burned fiercely. Next, an illusory world appeared before everyone's eyes. An old man came out of the illusory world. It was a thin and small old man. His figure was somewhat similar to the profound dark ghost elder, as if he was a malicious spirit that had crawled out of hell. Anyone who saw this existence would feel a sense of horror. This old man was obviously the old ancestor that the 3 ancestors of Baji Palace had mentioned. Why did you summon me? The old man asked. Ancestor, the Baji Palace is about to be destroyed, the 3 ancestors said. The old man looked at Lin Feng's group and said, These people want to destroy the Baji Palace? Not bad, they even have an ancient demon weapon. Their background is not small, but no matter how great their background is, only death awaits them today. Chapter 4979. Obviously, that old man didn't appear in the real world. He didn't know where he was, but he was still able to appear from such a great distance. Moreover, he could release such a terrifying power. Just how strong was this person? It was simply unimaginable. Buzz. The void trembled violently as a huge hand that could blot out the sun condensed. The huge hand that could blot out the sun was condensed by the Patriarch. The huge hand that could blot out the sun blasted towards Lin Feng and the others. Although it was only a huge hand made of energy, the terrifying power it contained was still shocking and moving. Lin Feng took a deep breath and continued to control the ancient demon weapon to attack the huge hand made of energy. This time, the ancient demon weapon did not release any attack. Instead, it directly collided with the huge hand. Bang! It was as if two immortal mountains had collided violently in the void. The ancient demon weapon and the huge hand made of energy collided. Then, something shocking happened. Lin Feng's ancient demon weapon was actually sent flying by the huge hand made of energy. Damn! It can't be, right? After seeing this scene, Lin Feng could not help but exclaim. He could not believe what was happening in front of him. That was an ancient demon weapon. Although the ancient demon weapon only released a small portion of its power, it was still very powerful. But now, the ancient demon weapon was actually sent flying by the huge hand made of energy. This scene was simply too unbelievable. That old man is so tyrannical. Even the ancient demon weapon was suppressed. The cultivators who were watching the show could not help but exclaim. I wonder what realm that old man is at? Someone asked. At this time, a cultivator said, only a top-perfected golden immortal can use such a method to materialize from such a great distance. Considering that this old man can actually suppress the ancient demon weapon from such a great distance, even a top-perfected golden immortal would not be able to do this. Therefore, I guess that this old man is very likely an expert at the sage immortal realm. After hearing this cultivator's words, many people could not help but gasp. An expert at the sage immortal realm? Wasn't this a little too powerful? In the entire undying world, experts of this level could be counted with one's fingers. However, thinking that this expert had not appeared and had only manifested his figure across an endless distance, it was likely that this expert was not in the undying world, right? Then where is he? Heaven realm, wasteland? Or perhaps in another world? That was unknown. That fellow is a troublesome one, Yun Tianyu said solemnly. Qi Zishu and Wan Yunshan both had solemn expressions on their faces. This existence was too terrifying, they simply couldn't resist it. At this moment, the mysterious old ancestor of the Baji Palace made his move again. Once again, a huge energy hand condensed in the void. The aura of this energy hand was even more terrifying than the energy hand he had condensed before. Lin Feng's expression turned ugly when he sensed the enormous power contained within the energy hand. This guy was too perverted. That huge energy hand enveloped Lin Feng and the others, and then quickly blasted towards them. Lin Feng continued to control the ancient demon weapon to collide with the huge energy hand. This was the only way out. Apart from controlling the ancient demon weapon to contend with it, Lin Feng couldn't think of any other way. Asterisk bang! Asterisk along with the second violent collision, the ancient demon weapon was sent flying again. The ancient bestial soldier was blown away again. The gigantic hand didn't disperse, it continued moving towards Lin Feng and the others. Seeing that the huge energy hand was rapidly approaching, Lin Feng used the Emperor's scripture to neutralize the attack. After all, after the huge energy hand had sent the ancient demon weapon flying, its power had been greatly reduced. Therefore, when the huge energy hand rushed towards Lin Feng and the others, its power was far from its peak. It was normal for Lin Feng to neutralize it. Retreat, Lin Feng said. Said Lin Feng. He recalled his ancient bestial weapon. Lin Feng wanted to leave. The strong cultivator of the Baji Palace was terrifying. Although his original body couldn't descend, Lin Feng and the others were still no match for him. In that case, it was better to leave quickly. There was no need to continue wasting time here. Yun Tianyu, Qi Zishu, and Wan Yunshan also agreed to leave, although they wanted to destroy the Baji Palace. However, they couldn't do it now, so they could only give up. However, Even if they couldn't destroy the Baji Palace, they had already dealt a heavy blow to the Baji Palace today. This trip was not in vain. Lin Zishi said. Don't go. I have something that can make this ancient demon weapon release more power. If a supreme treasure like the ancient demon weapon could release more power, it was very likely to reverse the situation. Therefore, when Lin Zishi said that she had something that could make the ancient demon weapon release more power, Lin Feng and the others' eyes immediately widened. Lin Feng asked in surprise, There's such a treasure? What is it? Quickly take it out. Lin Zishi took out a porcelain bottle and opened it. Then she poured out a drop of silver liquid from the bottle. Lin Feng didn't know what that drop of silver liquid was. When the ancient demon weapon absorbed that drop of silver liquid, the ancient demon weapon's aura actually increased crazily. How was this just releasing more power? It was obviously a huge increase in the ancient demon weapon's power. Lin Feng stared at the porcelain bottle in Lin Zishi's hand. He was thinking if he should find a chance to get that porcelain bottle after the battle. The silver liquid inside was really too heaven-defying. At this moment, Lin Zishi kept the porcelain bottle and said excitedly, Am I right? The ancient demon weapon's aura is really stronger. Quickly, try out the power of the ancient demon weapon. Lin Feng nodded and continued to control the ancient demon weapon, attacking the expert of the Baji Palace. 8 Evils World Annihilation! Suddenly, the expert of the Baji Palace shouted coldly. Next. A huge fiery red array condensed in the void. That huge fiery red array was formed by countless array patterns. That huge fiery red magic array had 8 array cores, each of which contained destructive power. Chapter 4980. Demon devours the human realm! Suddenly, a low voice rang out from the ancient demon weapon. Following that, an endless amount of demonic aura spread out. The demonic aura, it turned into a gigantic vortex. When the dense fireballs came crashing down, they were all devoured by the vortex. Following that, the ancient demon weapon slammed into the illusory world rapidly. Bam! 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 The ancient demon weapon slammed into the illusory world one after another. Each time it slammed into it, it was as though the earth was quaking. Even the void was cracking apart. That illusory world, it was also cracking apart rapidly. Damn it! The powerful being of 8-level palace could not help but roar out in anger. His eyes were filled with killing intent. They shone with a chilling killing intent. He wanted to stop everything, but there was no way he could do so. After all, he had only revealed his body, and not his true body. Lad, I'll remember you. You're good. Very good. You better pray that you don't meet your ancestor. If you do, your ancestor will definitely crush your bones into dust and tear your body into pieces. The venomous voice of the old master of 8-level palace rang out. His murderous intent towards Lin Feng was like an unceasing torrent of water. It was like the overflowing waters of the Yellow River. It couldn't be controlled. Yours truly will remember you. Wait till yours truly sees you, old thing. Yours truly will definitely teach you a lesson. Lin Feng curled his lips and said. The face of the powerful being of 8-level palace turned grim as his body dissipated. In the next moment, Lin Feng's ancient demon weapon destroyed that illusory world directly. Even the old master has been defeated! How could this be? How could this be? The 3 old masters of 8-level palace screamed out in disbelief. The cultivators of 8-level palace let out looks of horror. Even the ultimate powerful being of 8-level palace had been defeated. Who else could stop Lin Feng and the others? At this moment, Lin Feng controlled the ancient demon weapon and slammed it into the protective barrier of 8-level palace. Strike after strike, it slammed into the barrier. Crack! Crack! After 72 consecutive strikes, the protective barrier of 8-level palace began to crack. The 8 extreme palace is finished. The faces of the cultivators outside turned pale. They knew that this time, the 8 extreme palace was completely finished. Lin Feng and the others were too savage. If the hidden powerhouse of the Baji Palace was in the Baji Palace, then he might be able to resist the attacks of Lin Feng and the others. They might even be able to eliminate Lin Feng and the others. However, he wasn't in the Baji Palace, so he couldn't stop Lin Feng and the others just by relying on the figure he had manifested. Therefore, the fate of the 8th-level palace had already been decided. Run! Hurry up and run! The cultivators of the 8th Extreme Palace cried out in horror. They wanted to escape. The 8th Extreme Palace's 3 ancestors, Palace Master, Vice Palace Master, and many other higher-ups fled in panic. They wanted to live. They didn't want to die. However, this wasn't something they could escape from. The demonic energy released by the ancient demon weapon covered the sky, shrouding everyone within. Then, the spectating cultivators saw that the 8th Extreme Palace cultivators seemed to be attacked by an unknown force amidst the demonic chi. Their bodies quickly fell down to the ground, and they were all dead by the time they hit the ground. Why is this happening? We can't accept this. The 8th Extreme Palace has existed for countless years, but now it's being destroyed by our hands. We won't be able to face our ancestors after death. Lin Feng, I curse all of you. I curse all of you to die a horrible death. I curse all of you to have a fate 10 times, no, 100 times worse than ours. The cultivators of the 8th Extreme Palace couldn't help but roar. They were unwilling to die like this, and some even cursed Lin Feng. Alas, their fates were already sealed. Including the 3 ancestors, all of them were killed by Lin Feng's ancient demon weapon. The 8th Extreme Palace turned into a mountain of corpses. Countless corpses lay on the ground as the thick stench of blood permeated the world. Lin Feng took away the essences of the 3 ancestors. Sun Yuanqing was a Dao immortal expert, so his essences had a great effect on Lin Feng's cultivation. Therefore, Lin Feng could use his essences. The essences of the others couldn't be used by Lin Feng, but there were others who could. Lin Feng and the others collected the rings of the dead cultivators of the Baji Palace. Then, they looted the treasures of the Baji Palace and set the whole place on fire. The raging fire engulfed the 8th Extreme Palace in an instant. Lin Feng's group didn't linger and quickly left. The cultivators who came to join the 8th Extreme Palace had lingering fears. Fortunately, they didn't join the 8th Extreme Palace. Otherwise, they would be dead for sure. Now, they looked at the burning 8th Extreme Palace and couldn't help but sigh with emotion. A top power was actually destroyed. Very quickly, the news that Lin Feng, Yun Tianyu, and the others had destroyed the Baji Palace quickly spread in Little Western Paradise. The Baji Palace was so powerful. How could it be destroyed by someone? Moreover, it was destroyed by a few people. Naturally, no one would believe such a thing. However, as more and more rumors spread, more and more people began to pay attention to this matter. Therefore, many forces sent people to the ancestral ground of the 8th Extreme Palace to investigate. When the cultivators of many forces arrived, they were shocked to find that the ancestral land of the 8th-level palace had turned into ruins. The 8th Extreme Palace was destroyed. The news was true. An ancient sect that had been passed down for countless years was destroyed just like that. This matter was too shocking and inconceivable. However, no matter how unwilling the world was to believe this matter, no matter how much they didn't dare to believe this matter, it had already happened. The ancient power of the 8th Extreme Palace was truly destroyed by Lin Feng's group. The destruction of the 8th Extreme Palace caused a great uproar. Moreover, this news quickly spread from the minor western horizon to the other domains. One had to know that the 8th Extreme Palace's reputation was extremely resounding in the undying world. Now that it was destroyed, this matter naturally caused a great sensation in the undying world. The forces in the outside world didn't dare to believe this matter. After all, it was too unbelievable for a few people to destroy the 8th Extreme Palace. How could the 8th Extreme Palace be destroyed with such a powerful foundation? The forces in the other domains also sent a large number of cultivators to investigate this matter. When they arrived at the ancestral ground of the 8th Extreme Palace, everyone could finally confirm this matter. The 8th Extreme Palace was truly destroyed. Chapter 4981. Western Paradise City. The Crown Prince, Di Wudao, had come to the city after hearing about Lin Feng. However, by the time he arrived, Lin Feng had already left. Di Wudao already knew about what had happened to the Baji Palace. Di Wudao was furious because the Baji Palace was one of the top factions that supported him. Now that the Baji Palace had been destroyed, it was a huge blow to Di Wudao. Di Wudao's expression was indifferent as he looked at the ruins of the city lord's mansion. The mirror of future floated beside Di Wudao and said, "Baji Palace has been destroyed. Your Majesty's brothers must be extremely excited when they hear this news. Yeah, they must be overjoyed." Emperor Wudao raised his eyebrows and said. The mirror of the future said, "Lin Baitian's son has already matured." Di Wudao nodded gloomily and said, "Yes, he's matured. It'll be even harder to kill him now." "What do you plan to do, Your Highness?" asked the mirror of the future. Di Wudao said, "Have the assassin dynasty send even stronger cultivators to kill him." "I've already notified the assassin dynasty," said the mirror of the future. "That kid is like a loach. It's really hard to find him. Where would he run off to now? Is he with the primordial survivors? I don't know where they're hiding." "Are you still unable to find them?" asked Di Wudao. The mirror of the future said, "The primordial survivors' residence has been blocked by the heavens. I can't find them." Di Wudao frowned. The mirror of the future said, "Lin Feng has a weakness. He's a playboy. We can start with his women." Di Wudao said, "That's a good idea. Using his women to lure him out isn't a bad idea. However, I'm sure his women have already been taken care of, right? It won't be easy to take advantage of that." The mirror of the future said, "As far as I know, there's a woman in the Western Paradise City who has an ambiguous relationship with this young man. Originally, many people thought that this woman had been with this young man for a long time, but later, something happened between them, so their relationship became estranged," said Di Wudao. "You want to make use of this woman?" Di Wudao frowned and continued, "Since the brat no longer has anything to do with this woman, do you think we can still use her to deal with him?" The mirror of future said, "Perhaps not, but it's still an opportunity. Let's capture this woman and spread the news to get him to come over. Once this kid appears, we can immediately kill him," said Di Wudao. "To men, women are merely playthings. So, do you think this method will work?" The mirror of future hesitated for a moment before asking, "What do you intend to do, Your Highness?" "I'm going to meet that woman and make her my chess piece," Di Wudao said as he disappeared from where he stood. The mirror of future also disappeared without a trace. Over the past few days, Shui Yuexin had heard news of the 8 Extreme Palaces' destruction. This news shocked her greatly. The 8 Extreme Palace was a powerful organization, yet it had been destroyed just like that. It was truly shocking. Previously, when Lin Feng had destroyed the City Lord Manor, Shui Yuexin had planned to wait until after Lin Feng had destroyed the City Lord Manor. Then, she would find Lin Feng and apologize to him. She would then explain her feelings to Lin Feng. However, Lin Feng had quickly left after destroying the City Lord Manor and looting it. He had not given Shui Yuexin a chance to meet him. Thus, Shui Yuexin had not been able to tell Lin Feng her thoughts. Now, Lin Feng was nowhere to be found. Thinking that she might never see Lin Feng again, Shui Yuexin felt a heart-wrenching pain. Thus, Shui Yuexin sat in front of her dressing table in a daze. "You're Shui Yuexin?" Suddenly, a voice came from behind her. Shui Yuexin was shocked and quickly stood up. She saw a young-looking cultivator and a mirror appear behind her. Shui Yuexin quickly summoned the immortal sword that Lin Feng had given to her. The immortal sword floated in front of her. She asked coldly, "Who are you? You don't need to know who I am. I have a mission for you," Di Wudao said. "What mission?" Shui Yuexin asked subconsciously. "Help me kill Lin Feng," Di Wudao said. Hearing that, Shui Yuexin's expression changed. Shui Yuexian's facial expression changed. Shui Yuexian wasn't stupid. On the contrary, she was extremely smart. Therefore, she immediately guessed that the person in front of her was Lin Feng's enemy. Even though she didn't know his social status, his qi was extraordinary. He was probably an incredible cultivator. Don't even think about it, Shui Yuexin said coldly. Then, she controlled the immortal sword to attack Di Wudao. Di Wudao reached out and tapped lightly. Shui Yuexin's immortal sword froze in the void. Shui Yuexin's heart was in a state of shock. This person in front of her, was he not too scary? Look into my eyes, Di Wudao said. Shui Yuexin wanted to lower her head and not look into Di Wudao's eyes. However, Di Wudao's voice seemed to have a terrifying magical power. She could not help but look into Di Wudao's eyes. When Shui Yuexin's eyes met with Di Wudao's eyes, Shui Yuexin's eyes, she suddenly became confused. Remember, kill Lin Feng at all costs. This is your destiny. Di Wudao's voice was heard. Yes, I will remember, Shui Yuexin said stiffly. It was as if her body was being controlled. Brilliant. This is really brilliant. If Lin Feng were to die in the hands of his ex-woman, he would have died a stupid death. Even if he could not die in the hands of his ex-woman, he would be extremely depressed to see his ex-woman trying to kill him so crazily. If Lin Feng were to kill this woman, it would create a demon in his heart. From then on, it would be very difficult for him to improve his cultivation, Future Mirror said. Di Wudao's lips curled into a sinister smile. All right, let's go. Swoosh. In the next moment, there was a flash of light. Di Wudao and Future Mirror disappeared without a trace. Shui Yuexin's eyes returned to normal. However, there was a sinister killing intent in her eyes. I want to kill Lin Feng. Kill him at all costs. Chapter 4982. Lin Feng didn't know about Shui Yuexin's matter. At this time, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi followed Yun Tianyu and the others to the hiding place of the ancient survivors. They hid in the depths of the Western Heaven ancient forest, in a parallel space near the huge inland lake between the lesser Western Heaven domain and the Western Heaven domain. Lin Feng remembered that the Raging Flame Island was in this inland lake. Lin Feng also remembered Yun Zhongtian, but Lin Feng didn't plan to visit the Raging Flame Island. The location of the parallel space was located in an extremely dangerous place. It was densely covered with restrictions and filled with poisonous gas, so ordinary cultivators didn't dare to enter this place. Of course, even if they entered this place, they might not be able to find the node to enter the parallel world. Lin Feng and Ling Zishi were warmly welcomed after arriving here. Obviously, the ancient survivors already knew that Lin Feng and Ling Zishi had first eliminated the experts of the Ba Ji Palace and the City Lord's Mansion of the Lesser Western Heaven City, and then joined forces with Yun Tianyu and the others to eliminate the Ba Ji Palace. These ancient survivors had a blood feud with the Ba Ji Palace. Lin Feng and Ling Zishi had eliminated so many experts of the Ba Ji Palace, which was simply revenge for these people. Therefore, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi's popularity was naturally very high. This parallel world wasn't particularly big. But the scale wasn't particularly small. Now, the number of ancient survivors wasn't large, only 20 to 30,000 people. One had to know. During the heyday, there were tens of millions of ancient survivors. But now, naturally, there was no way to compare it to the heyday. Lin Feng planned to go into seclusion for a few days because he wanted to refine the Tao Immortal's origin he had obtained. Because Lin Feng had already refined the Tao Immortal's origin once before, the effect of refining the Tao Immortal's origin now wouldn't be as good as before. The human body easily developed a great resistance to these things. As the resistance grew stronger, the effect of the things would become worse. But now, even if Lin Feng's body had developed a resistance to the Tao Immortal's origin, it presumably wouldn't be particularly strong. In the room, Lin Feng sat cross-legged and took out the Tao Immortal's origin. Then, he began to refine the Tao Immortal's origin. As the Tao Immortal's origin was gradually refined by Lin Feng's realm began to rise. Lin Feng was at the 5th Heaven Immortal Realm. Although this realm wasn't very high, for Lin Feng to break through to this realm at this age and with such a powerful accumulation, it was already extremely difficult for him to break through to this realm at this age. With such a strong accumulation, Lin Feng's and Lin's realm is. It took Lin Feng 3 days to completely absorb the original strength of the Tao's celestial realm. As realm, he had achieved a breakthrough. Of this he, Feng des. He, immortal's realm. After coming out of seclusion, Lin Feng had nothing to do, so he decided to meditate for a while. It just so happened that he could continue comprehending the various great Taos. Lin Feng entered the space-time zone for seclusion. In the blink of an eye, half a year had passed in the outside world, but in the time and space, 5 years had passed. In these 5 years, Lin Feng's harvest was naturally enormous. Bibi and the others were basically in a state of seclusion. These little fellows grew very quickly. In addition, Lin Feng's 3 insect swarms, the primitive demon refining insects, the celestial devouring insects, and the flying crimson demonic insects, were growing faster and faster, and they were reproducing more and more. The number of primitive demon refining bugs and celestial devouring bugs could be counted as hundreds of millions. On the other hand, the number of flying crimson demon insects could be counted in the tens of millions. After all, the flying crimson demonic insects had only been born for a short period of time. Therefore, in terms of numbers, they could not be compared to the immortal devouring insects and the immortal refining insects. However, as time passed, the flying crimson demon insects would become more and more powerful. In addition, the primordial ancestor insect had completed its 4th evolution, the emperor archaic had completed its 3rd evolution, and the demon king insect had also completed its 3rd evolution. The demon king insect's evolution speed was obviously faster than the emperor archaic's because the demon king insect was not picky about food. It could devour anything, so the demon king insect's evolution speed was faster. However, the emperor archaic was different. The emperor archaic was more picky about food. Therefore, the evolution speed was relatively slower. Bibi and Blackie had completed their 4th evolution respectively, while the white jade toad had completed its 6th evolution. Xiaolong had completed its 2nd evolution. These little guys had all completed their evolutions subtly. Sometimes, Lin Feng did not even know that they had completed their evolutions. After all, Lin Feng's spiritual will could not always observe what was happening in time and space. However, Bibi and the rest had completed their evolutions in their sleep. Therefore, if Bibi and the rest had not said anything, Lin Feng would not have known that they had completed their evolutions. Lin Feng had originally wanted to stay in seclusion for a while longer. The reason why he came out was because the token on Lin Feng's body was emitting waves of energy. Cultivators could use the token to enter the heaven-devouring secret domain. Therefore, when the token emitted intense waves, it meant that the heaven-devouring secret domain was likely to be out soon. After Lin Feng came out of seclusion, the token returned to normal. This made Lin Feng a little suspicious. Lin Feng planned to go out and find out more about the heaven-devouring secret domain. As soon as Lin Feng came out of seclusion, Leng Zixi ran to Lin Feng excitedly. "The heaven-devouring secret domain is out," Leng Zixi said. "Really? Where is it?" Lin Feng could not help but feel excited. When Leng Zixi mentioned the heaven-devouring secret domain, Lin Feng knew that it was definitely in the undying world. Otherwise, Leng Zixi would not have known about it. "It's in the inland lake at the border between Mini Western Horizon Domain and Western Horizon Domain," Leng Zixi said. "So close." Lin Feng could not help but be delighted. Since it was so close, it would be convenient for him to reach the heaven-devouring secret domain. "It would not take too long," Leng Zixi said. "Many people have already gone there. Why don't we go there now?" "Yun Tianyu and the rest have gone there too?" Lin Feng asked. "They have not gone. They are all in seclusion. However, someone should have informed them. Since they have not come out of seclusion, perhaps they are not interested in the name of the heaven-devouring secret domain," Leng Zixi said. Lin Feng said. "That is possible. Of course, there is another reason," Yun Tianyu and the rest have just destroyed the 8 Extreme Palace. Of course, they need to keep a low profile during this period. Leng Zishi nodded and said, We don't need to keep a low profile. We are not people who keep a low profile. Let's go quickly. If we are late, the good stuff will be taken away. Chapter 4983. There were many names for the lake. The people of Western Heaven region liked to call it Western Heaven Lake. The people of Minor Western Heaven region liked to call it Minor Western Heaven Lake. There were some factions in the lake. The largest faction was Inferno Island. Therefore, the factions in the lake liked to call it Inferno Lake. As for the cultivators from the outside, they liked to call it Inland Lake. Of course, it didn't matter what it was called. The key was that the heaven-devouring secret realm had actually appeared in an inland lake. When this news spread out, it immediately caused a great sensation. Some time ago, the destruction of the 8 Extreme Palace had already attracted the attention of the major forces in the Undying Realm. Many cultivators from various forces had gone to the Minor Western Paradise region to verify this matter. Therefore, during this period of time, a large number of foreign cultivators had rushed to the Minor Western Paradise region. The foreign cultivators had yet to leave. And yet, the heaven-devouring pocket dimension had appeared within the lake at the border between the Minor Western Paradise region and the Minor Western Paradise region. Seeing that, the cultivators who had come to the Minor Western Paradise region became overjoyed. To think that they would be able to come across such an opportunity. The news spread out rapidly. Cultivators who were closer to the Minor Western Heavens region should be able to make it in time for the appearance of the heaven-devouring secret realm if they hurried over at full speed. However, cultivators who were further away would not be able to make it in time for the appearance of the heaven-devouring secret realm after hearing this news. The heaven-devouring secret realm is a secret realm left behind by the heaven-devouring Devil Lord. You must have heard of the heaven-devouring Devil Lord. He is from the sovereign imperial clan. Now, countless cultivators were talking about the heaven-devouring secret realm. Naturally, they couldn't avoid mentioning the heaven-devouring Devil Lord. At this moment, a group of cultivators who were rushing to the heaven-devouring secret realm were talking about the heaven-devouring secret realm and the heaven-devouring Devil Lord. I know about the sovereign imperial clan. Isn't it the legendary Sinner's Blood imperial clan? The most ancient clan among the Sinner's Blood imperial clan. Actually, I'm a little puzzled. Didn't they say that there were very few people in this clan? How could they be part of the Sinner's Blood imperial clan? Someone asked in confusion. At this time, a cultivator said, This is because the cultivators of this race are too strong. They have a long lifespan. Moreover, any cultivator who comes out of this race will become a top expert. At a young age, their battle prowess is heaven-defying. Therefore, this clan is fully deserving of the title of Sinner's Blood Imperial Clan. The heaven-devouring Demon Emperor is awesome. I heard that he's not only from the Sovereign Emperor clan, but he's also the son of the heaven-devouring Demon Lord. Among the 9 generations of Demon Lords, the heaven-devouring Demon Lord is probably the strongest Demon Lord. As the son of the heaven-devouring Demon Lord and a member of the Sovereign Emperor clan, you can imagine how strong the heaven-devouring Demon Emperor is. The cultivator continued. Why did I hear that the heaven-devouring Devil Emperor is the grandson of the heaven-devouring Devil Lord? Another cultivator said. I heard that it's the 5th generation. Regardless of whether it's his son or grandson, the heaven-devouring Devil Emperor's achievements are incomparably astonishing. You can imagine how extraordinary the things he left behind are. Maybe there is the inheritance of the Sovereign Imperial Clan. If we can obtain the inheritance of the Sovereign Imperial Clan, we will be rich, the cultivator said. Hearing this, many nodded in agreement. If they could obtain the heaven-devouring Evil Lord's legacy, they would be rich. Perhaps it would be even more helpful to him than obtaining a powerful magic treasure. Everyone flew in the direction of the heaven-devouring secret realm with great anticipation. Keek keek! Suddenly, a sinister laughter came from afar. Above the 9 heavens, demonic fog rolled. Clearly, a powerful devil was flying over from afar. A bunch of ants actually want to obtain the heaven-devouring devil emperor's legacy? What a joke! A disdainful voice came from the demonic fog. Many people were enraged. This devil-dao cultivator was a bit too arrogant. Someone wanted to say something, but he was quickly stopped by someone else. Why did you stop me? His companion asked, puzzled. That's Xianyu, young master, the cultivator's companion said. What? Xianyu, young master? Many people could not help but be shocked when they heard the name Xianyu, young master. Xianyu, young master. This was definitely a name that would shock anyone. Before the 8 young masters, there were also some people in the Undying Realm who were not much weaker than the 8 young masters at the same age. These people were known as the 10 heroes of the Undying Realm. The Undying Realm was a half-higher realm, so it was suppressed by the laws of heaven and earth. Of course, this suppression was far from comparable to the suppression of the mortal realm. Even so, this suppression was quite severe. Therefore, in order to nurture them, the top forces of the Undying Realm joined forces and sent a portion of their people to the Heaven Realm to cultivate. The 10 heroes of the Undying Realm were naturally among them. Therefore, one could imagine how powerful this group of people was. Even if the 8 young masters of the Undying Realm were to face Xianyu, young master, they would still be fearful. This was also why the cultivators were so shocked and terrified when they heard that this person was Xianyu, young master. Xianyu, young master. He was someone they could not afford to offend. Xianyu, young master naturally did not care about the cultivators below. He quickly left, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. After Xianyu, young master left, someone sighed. 2 heroes in one sect. This situation is really rare. The cultivator sighed because Xianyu, young master came from the 9 underworlds demon palace. And one of the 8 young masters of the Undying Realm, Shuiyu, young master, also came from the 9 underworlds demon palace. It was extremely rare for a sect to have 2 heaven-defying geniuses in an extremely short period of time. But the 9 underworlds demon palace made this a reality. If Xianyu, young master and Shuiyu, young master don't die, the 9 underworlds demon palace will definitely become unimaginably powerful in the future, a cultivator said. Yes. Many people sighed. I hope they die. These people of the demonic Tao are unpardonable evil. It's best if they all die, a cultivator said. Just as the cultivator finished speaking, his head suddenly flew into the sky. No one knew how that cultivator's head was cut off. The cultivator's corpse fell into the lake. Chapter 4984. Everyone else had a look of lingering fear on their faces. Luckily, they did not say anything, otherwise they might have ended up like the dead cultivator. The rest of the people didn't dare to stay here any longer. They quickly flew towards the distance. Their speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, they had disappeared. Xianyu Gongzi was not the only powerful cultivator heading to the heaven-devouring secret realm. There were many experts, and Xianyu Gongzi was just one of them. There must be someone even stronger than young Master Xianyu. After all, Xianyu Gongzi was still a young cultivator despite his strength. Now, experts with strong foundations were emerging. The Undying Realm had entered an era of experts. The 3-headed viper quickly flew above the lake. Because the surface area of the Undying Realm was too big, even an inland lake was as big as a sea. This inland lake was so big that it would take a God Realm cultivator 100 years to cross it. From this, one could see how big this inland lake was. Lin Feng rested his head on Leng Zixi thigh. This pillow was really comfortable. Leng Zixi rested her chin on her hand and looked at Lin Feng, who was resting with his eyes closed. Lin Feng opened his eyes and smiled. You've been looking at me for so long. Tell me honestly, have you fallen in love with me? That's right. I love you so much. Can you give me that ancient demon weapon of yours as a token of our love? Leng Zixi giggled. Pretend I didn't say anything, Lin Feng said. Leng Zixi said. Looks like this isn't true love. You've hurt me deeply. Lin Feng pursed his lips. You still have the cheek to say that. I gave you the silver liquid in the porcelain bottle, but you didn't give it to me. You're really hurting me. Of course I can give it to you. I never said I wouldn't give it to you. I made it very clear. I'll give you the silver liquid, and you'll give me the ancient demon weapon, Lin Zishi said. Lin Feng could not help but pat his head speechlessly. It was naturally an extremely difficult task to obtain something from Lin Zishi, this little demoness. Lin Feng closed his eyes and went back to sleep. Lin Zishi said, How about we have a chat? What do you want to talk about? Lin Feng asked. Lin Zishi asked. Aren't you the Sinner's Blood Emperor? This means that you're from the Sovereign Emperor tribe. The Heaven-Devouring Devil Lord is also from the Sovereign Emperor tribe. The Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm is a secret realm left behind by the Heaven-Devouring Devil Lord. As a descendant of the Sovereign Emperor tribe, I believe that you'll be able to obtain the treasures left behind by the Heaven-Devouring Devil Lord. Thank you for your kind words, Lin Feng said. Lin Zishi said, When the time comes, don't forget to share half with me. Lin Feng said, I can give you half. As long as you serve me well, I'll give you as much as you want. Lin Zishi naturally knew what Lin Feng meant by serving her well. She immediately glared fiercely at Lin Feng. Then he said, You bastard, your head is full of filthy thoughts. Lin Feng said, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. What did I say? You're slandering me like this. If I can't find a beautiful wife in the future, I'll rely on you. Lin Zishi giggled and said, If you can't find a beautiful wife, I'll introduce you to the great beauty next to my house, Nior. Lin Feng said, Great beauty Nior? Are you sure you're not tricking me? How can a great beauty be associated with such a weird name like Nior? Lin Zishi smiled brilliantly and said, If there's a chance to go to the wasteland, I'll introduce you to Nior. I guarantee that you'll be moved. At this point, Lin Zishi actually laughed without any ladylike demeanor. Conspiracy! There must be a conspiracy. Lin Feng felt that the great beauty Nior was definitely not a great beauty. How could a two-faced Lin Zishi introduce a great beauty to him? Unless the sun rose from the west. Half a month later, Lin Feng and Lin Zishi finally arrived at the Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm. The Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm was shrouded in immortal fog, floating above the lake. From afar, one could see cultivators flying towards the Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm. The opening of the Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm attracted a large number of cultivators. Before Lin Feng and Lin Zishi arrived, many people had already entered the Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm. Are we late? Lin Zishi said bitterly. Lin Feng said calmly, We're not late. Even if we're late, it's fine. If you want to take the things left behind by the Heaven-Devouring Evil Emperor, you'll need a token. That token is with me. Naturally, no one can take those things away. Lin Zishi said, What if others have other ways to enter the core area? Don't look down on the world. Lin Feng said, I'm confident in my ancestors' methods. Although he said that, Lin Feng still urged the three-headed viper to speed up. The three-headed viper flapped its wings and rushed towards the Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm. The Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm was huge. It had long been turned into a mini-world. It was said that when the Heaven-Devouring Evil Emperor created the Heaven-Devouring Secret Realm, he used it as a training ground in order to find a successor. Actually, there was no other way. There were too few people in the Sovereign Emperor's bloodline. Therefore, there were many times when they had to find other geniuses to inherit their orthodoxy. If such people grew up, they would be able to protect the bloodline of the Sovereign Emperor's bloodline. For example, the uncle that he had never met before. Back then, in order to protect him and his father, this uncle had died tragically in the extraterritorial world. This uncle's ancestor was saved by the ancestor of the Sovereign Emperor's bloodline. They were half disciple and half servant. Since then, this uncle's ancestor had been protecting the Sovereign Emperor's bloodline. Later on, their bloodline was even given the surname Ji. It was clear that the Sovereign Emperor's bloodline treated them like family. In the past, the heaven-devouring secret realm was used by the heaven-devouring demon emperor as a training ground to select his successor. Therefore, there were still many opportunities in this place. Most of them were deliberately created by the heaven-devouring demon emperor. After countless years, those opportunities were still scattered all over the heaven-devouring secret realm. Now that a large number of cultivators had arrived, if they were lucky, they would naturally be able to find those opportunities. If not, they were destined to return empty-handed from the heaven-devouring secret realm. Chapter 4985. After countless years of development, the heaven-devouring secret realm had undergone earth-shaking changes. A small world like this could gradually evolve, especially when the person who created this small world was such a powerful existence. It was the same for the small world in front of them. As time passed, the small world formed by the heaven-devouring secret realm had gradually evolved into a middle-grade world. Therefore, this small world was full of vitality, and there were many powerful fierce beasts living here. It was very dangerous to search for opportunities in this small world because one would have to face the threat of those fierce beasts at any time and place. Those fierce beasts were very powerful, and if one was not careful, they could be killed by those fierce beasts. This was something that had to be taken seriously. However, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi were both skilled and daring existences, so they were not afraid at all. Ordinary opportunities could not attract Lin Feng. Lin Feng's target was the core treasure left behind by his ancestor, the heaven-devouring evil emperor. He took out the token, but it didn't fluctuate at all. Ling Zishi looked at the token in Lin Feng's hand and said, "Could this token be the token to enter the core area?" "Yes." When we came out of the heaven-devouring secret realm, there was a brief disturbance. Now it has calmed down. "How strange," Lin Feng said. Ling Zishi said, "Once we find the core area, we will know if this token is useful." Lin Feng nodded. In fact, he was not sure if this token was useful. After all, Lin Feng had heard about the use of this token from rumors. He did not know the specific situation. Therefore, this token, it might be useful, or it might not. Whether the rumors were true or not, he would only know after verifying it. The core area was generally located in the depths. Therefore, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi kept flying in that direction. 5 days later, they heard a group of cultivators talking about the situation in the depths. It was said that there was a huge mountain range that was shrouded in restrictions. It seemed to be the place where the heaven-devouring evil emperor had fallen. Many top experts had gone there. As for ordinary cultivators, there were also many who went there to watch the show, but most of them did not go there. They were still scattered around the heaven-devouring secret realm in search of opportunities. Those that could be obtained were the most important. No matter how good the opportunities in the depths were, what was the use if they could not obtain them? When Lin Feng and Ling Zishi arrived, they saw many cultivators besieging the restrictions of the mountain range. Lin Feng saw some familiar figures, such as Yueshen, the son of Dong Wang, the blood-haired woman, Rotten Corpse, Huangfu Qingtian, Great Demon Yu, Young Master Shuiyu, Young Master Xingyu, and even Young Master Mingyu. Young Master Mingyu was not in the 8th-level palace when they destroyed it. Otherwise, they could have killed Young Master Mingyu together. This guy was still a big threat. Lin Feng felt that it was a pity. At that time, the ancient demon weapon was activated. It was also the best time to kill Young Master Mingyu. If they missed that opportunity, Lin Feng knew that it would be much more difficult to kill Young Master Mingyu. Apart from those people, there were also many strong cultivators. For example, Lin Feng saw a few monks with 10 light rings behind their heads. They looked like ancient Buddhas. Those monks were probably Buddhist cultivators from the western celestial region. There were also many experts that Lin Feng did not recognize. Many of them were experts with strong foundations. They should be top experts from various major forces. More and more people arrived. However, the restrictions protecting the mountain range were too powerful. Thus, it was not easy to break through the restrictions. Lin Feng couldn't help but sigh. This ancestor of his was really an amazing figure. In fact, Lin Feng didn't know much about the heaven-devouring evil emperor. There were many rumors about the heaven-devouring evil emperor. Some rumors said that the heaven-devouring evil emperor was the son of the heaven-devouring evil lord. Some said that the heaven-devouring evil emperor was the grandson of the heaven-devouring evil lord. Some said that the heaven-devouring evil emperor was the fifth generation of the heaven-devouring evil lord's descendant. In the past, Lin Feng had met the monstrous emperor of the Absolute Beginning Demon Clan. The monstrous emperor had received guidance from the heaven-devouring evil emperor. At that time, the monstrous emperor had said that the heaven-devouring evil emperor was the fifth generation of the heaven-devouring evil lord's descendant. He wasn't certain because it was just his guess. After all, the sovereign imperial clan was too mysterious. The death of his ancestor was still a mystery to this day. According to Lin Feng's knowledge, the deaths of the heaven-devouring evil emperor and the heaven-devouring evil emperor seemed to be related to the destruction of the Devil Pagoda. However, Lin Feng didn't know whether it was related or not. Back then, Lin Feng didn't know the details from the Devil Pagoda. "I'm here. Lord Devil Pagoda is here." Just as Lin Feng was thinking, a loud shout came from afar. Then, a Devil Pagoda flew over and slammed into the mountain range's restrictions. It was a damaged Devil Pagoda. In the past, the Devil Pagoda had been split into two. Therefore, each Devil Pagoda only had a part of its body left. In the beginning, the Devil Pagoda only had one Devil Pagoda spirit. However, as time passed, the other Devil Pagoda spirit also appeared. The two Devil Pagoda spirits wanted to devour each other. That way, they would be able to fuse into one and their battle prowess would increase greatly. However, it seemed that the two Devil Pagoda spirits hadn't completely fused. "This guy should be the first Devil Pagoda," Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. The first Devil Pagoda spirit was more down-to-earth. The second Devil Pagoda spirit's personality was extremely cold. Therefore, when the second Devil Pagoda spirit arrived, it wouldn't make a fuss. "Devil Pagoda! It's the legendary Devil Pagoda!" When they saw the Devil Pagoda, many people cried out in shock. It would appear that some of them knew about the legend of the Devil Pagoda. The Devil Pagoda was very mysterious and contained countless secrets. If one could obtain the Devil Pagoda, it would be a heaven-defying opportunity. It was said that the one who obtained the Devil Pagoda could become a supreme expert. In this epoch, the cultivators who obtained the Devil Pagoda had indeed become the pinnacle existences. This was also why so many people were so crazy about the Devil Pagoda. Many people wanted to obtain the Devil Pagoda, but how could it be so easy? The Devil Pagoda had appeared a few times in the past. However, the Devil Pagoda was too powerful and no one could suppress it. Thus, when the Devil Pagoda appeared again, no one went forward to subdue it. Chapter 4986. The demonic pagoda has been split into two. It seems that both of them have a complete divine consciousness, a cultivator said. Yes, these two guys are quite abnormal and terrifying. Their combat strength can be described as heaven-defying. I heard that many true immortals have tried to take the demonic pagoda but failed, someone exclaimed. The demonic pagoda is full of mysteries and its origin is unknown. The cultivators who controlled the demonic pagoda in the past all became supreme experts. This shows how extraordinary the demonic pagoda is. Although the demonic pagoda has been split into two and its combat strength has been greatly reduced, it is not something that anyone can touch, including those true immortals, an old cultivator said. His knowledge of the demonic pagoda was far beyond others. In fact, the old monk's words were extremely correct. Although the demonic pagoda was very tempting and people couldn't help but want to subdue it, it was almost no different from courting death if one rashly tried to subdue it without the strength to do so. Bang! 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 The two demonic pagoda collided with the protective restriction that enveloped the demonic mountain again and again. This restriction was very powerful. Therefore, even with the addition of the two demonic pagoda, it was extremely unrealistic to destroy the restriction in a short time. Of course, as time passed, the restriction would be destroyed. This was something that everyone knew very well. Lin Feng could not help but feel a little apprehensive. In the past, his ancestors, the heaven-devouring demon lord and the heaven-devouring demon emperor, had controlled the demonic pagoda one after another. There was a deep connection between them. However, it was obvious that the demonic pagoda was no longer the demonic pagoda of the past. Moreover, the demonic pagoda's attitude towards him was hostile. Perhaps it was because it was used to being free and did not want to be restrained by others. Moreover, he was the heaven-devouring demon lord, the descendant of the heaven-devouring demon emperor. The spirit of the demonic pagoda was worried that he would become their new master, so it was hostile towards him. Lin Feng felt that he had to act. If he did not act now, when the restriction was broken, with so many experts, it would be hard to say who would own the things left by his ancestors. Lin Feng looked at Ling Zishi beside him and said, "Let's go. Let's enter the depths of the mountain range. Your token is not moving. Will we be unable to enter after we go there? If we can't enter, we will be in trouble," Ling Zishi said bitterly. Lin Feng had discussed a lot of things with him before, including some of his enemies, so Ling Zishi had a better understanding of Lin Feng's enemies. If Lin Feng appeared, who knew how many strong enemies would be attracted to attack? Lin Feng said, "Yo!" The fearless little witch actually had times when she was worried and scared. What a rare sight! After hearing Lin Feng's words, Ling Zishi immediately straightened her chest and said, "I'm afraid? I've grown up, but I don't know how to spell the word fear." "Alright, let's go then," Lin Feng said. Then, with a wave of his hand, a powerful magic power surged out and wrapped around Ling Zishi. He quickly flew in the direction of Demon Mountain. "Look, isn't that Lin Feng? It really is Lin Feng." He and Yun Tianyu had just destroyed Baiji Palace, but he still dares to swagger out. How audacious! It's said that the remnants of Baiji Palace have already issued missions to many assassin forces to kill Lin Feng. Anyone who can kill Lin Feng will be rewarded with 1 billion immortal stones. What? 1 billion immortal stones? Oh my god, isn't that too much? That's why many assassin forces have already been mobilized, preparing to assassinate Lin Feng. Those assassins are hiding in the dark. They might ambush you or poison you. Their methods are endless. Who knows, they might really be able to kill Lin Feng. The remnants of Baiji Palace have announced that anyone who kills Lin Feng will be rewarded with 1 billion immortal stones. This doesn't only apply to assassin dynasties, but also to us. What a tempting reward. However, we don't have the ability to kill Lin Feng. Di Wudao and the Heavenly Court have also increased the bounty. Di Wudao's bounty is 300 million immortal stones and 2 immortal tools. The Heavenly Court's bounty is 500 million immortal stones and 3 immortal tools. Anyone who can kill Lin Feng will not only receive the bounty from Baiji Palace, but also Crown Prince Di Wudao and the Heavenly Court. Don't say it, please don't say it. Brother, if you keep talking, I won't be able to resist the urge to assassinate Lin Feng. Many cultivators began to discuss. As the saying went, men die for wealth and birds die for food. Therefore, even though many knew that assassinating Lin Feng was an extremely dangerous task, they were still willing to take the risk. After Lin Feng's identity was exposed, many people looked at Lin Feng. Many people looked at Lin Feng with dense killing intent. For example, young Master Mingyu, young Master Xingyu, young Master Shuiyu, Huangfu Qingtian and the others hated Lin Feng to the bone. Naturally, they wanted to kill Lin Feng. There were also people who gnashed their teeth in hatred. For example, Great Demon Yu hated Lin Feng to the core. Now that she recalled what had happened with Lin Feng, she still couldn't believe that she had been eaten by Lin Feng. She simply couldn't accept it. Some people had already rushed towards Lin Feng, wanting to deal with Lin Feng. Lin Feng naturally knew that some people wanted to deal with him. Moreover, he had long been on guard against these people. Therefore, when these people rushed over, Lin Feng also increased his speed. As Ling Zishi had said before, it would be very bad if he was surrounded by these people. When he got close to the Devil Mountain, Lin Feng found that the token was emitting waves of violent fluctuations. Lin Feng couldn't help but be happy. This meant that the token could play a key role. With the token in hand, he rushed to the outer region of the Devil Mountain before the others could surround him. Lin Feng didn't slow down at all and directly slammed into the restrictions outside the mountain. Is Lin Feng crazy? Many people couldn't help but murmur. Those restrictions were very powerful. The most likely result of such a collision was that he would be repelled by the restrictions. If he received a backlash from the restrictions, he might even be injured by the restrictions. Therefore, when they saw Lin Feng directly slamming into the restrictions, they couldn't understand why Lin Feng would do such a thing. At this time, everyone saw that after Lin Feng's body slammed into the restrictions outside the Devil Mountain, the token in his hand emitted a devilish light. This devilish light wrapped around Lin Feng and the woman beside him. In the next moment, Lin Feng and Ling Zishi rushed into the Devil Mountain. Damn it, that brat went in! You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.